Hello. Welcome back to Sherlock Holmes vs. Jack the Ripper. This is part 4, I believe. It's been a little while since we last streamed this, so I'm going to have to refresh things a little bit. But so apologies if you're watching this all in a row in a playlist. It has not just been, it's not the next day for me, it is at least a whole week later. So bear that in mind, that I will forget things. A couple of things before we get started, very, very briefly. If this is your first time here, hello. Everybody knows this drill already, but I'm going to do it anyway. My name is Lara. I am a Twitch streamer, and I like to focus on puzzle and detective games. And today we're playing Sherlock Holmes vs. Jack the Ripper. Because of, obviously, what it's about, there is going to be violence, and there is going to be mention, at least. I don't think we'll see anything, but there is mention of sex work and violence against women and that kind of thing, and there's probably going to be some racism at some point, because there usually is in these games because of the time period, but I don't know for certain. So we're going to move on and go back to where we were, which I do not remember at all. Wait, okay, hold on. I'm in a newspaper place. What would you, I don't know what it would be called. The place where you write the newspapers. This is where they work, because somebody had information and they haven't come back in because they're in danger, and I can't remember any more than that. So let's check what was happening. Oh, and I'm Sherlock, not Watson right now, which is good to know. Bulling. We were looking for a guy called Tom Bulling? Journalist. That's the word I was looking for. Newspaper people, you know. Try not to call them news agents, because that's obviously not right. Tom Bulling. You know, this hypocrite is currently unobtainable. Where's it? Right, so I was getting information from this guy on the phone. Walesby. Oh. And it had all of this stuff in it. Oh, I do not remember anything that's happening. What did it... Normally it ends by saying, I need to go to. Maybe I should just leave and see what happens.
Let's go to the police station.
Perfect. I thought he'd tell me if I actually, like, left. This is the problem with taking a week between games. What have I done? Last week we played Leighton, so I didn't play any Sherlock at all.
Let's go to the police station.
I'm at the police station, buddy. I was out late last night.
Come.
Oh,
Back
God.
again, are we?
He's got a
Come
clone.
this way, good man. The inspector has a few questions to ask you. Here is the man, Inspector.
Oh, because I was here.
Humphreys. So, my lad, one would say that you owe us a bit of an explanation for having left something with us. What is your full name and profession?
Sherlock Holmes, consulting detective.
Well, how about that?
Mr. Holmes, can you explain this get-up, your presence in the neighbourhood despite my instructions, as well as this most opportune restitution of jewels?
Firstly, I should tell you that not being under your command, I never understood what you said as an order, but rather as advice. I thought I would be wise to follow them to a certain extent. I intended to explain the stolen goods sooner or later. My presence here will allow me to fill you in on a few conclusions that...
If it is in regard to the Whitechapel murders, it won't help us much. We have no doubt that we will be revealing the identity of the murderer to the people in the area in a day or two.
I'm impressed, Inspector, and I offer you my sincerest congratulations. Nonetheless, you should investigate a certain doctor...
Dr. Watson.
Listen, Holmes, let us do our work. You've rid us of a great pain in the rear end by finding those jewels for us. It's weeks of work that you've saved us. But I think you're a little underqualified for a case like that of Jack the Ripper. Until it's over, I demand that you do not set foot in the area. Is that clear?
I take note of your advice, Inspector. You mentioned Jack the Ripper. Pardon me, but you know the name of the murderer?
Oh, it's from a letter that the Central News Agency sent our way. It was written by the killer. And even if it can't be proven, it must be recognised that the signature is striking. This information is confidential, and I would ask you to keep it to yourself, Holmes.
Why are you giving it to him? You just
Can I
said he
have a
can't
little look?
work.
Out of mere curiosity, Inspector, then I shall disappear.
In that case, I don't see any objection.
Thank you so much.
What? He just told him he can't work it. This isn't one of those games where it gives me the overlay, is it? See, this is why I like it when games give you the option to read it and it comes up in plain text rather than fancy font. But this game is older, so I don't know if that was the done thing. It's 25th of September, 1888. Share patron? Chief? I've read that as chef patron, but there's clearly not an F. I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I have laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. Okay, there's some underlined stuff that's probably important, but we'll get back to that. That joke about leather apron gave me real fits. I love that feature. Sometimes I just can't read the fancy text they use. I know, right? It's so... Every time I come across it in a new game, I'm very happy. I'm like, look at this accessibility option. I'm so happy for it. Because I also can't read fancy fonts sometimes. I'm not too bad at it, but sometimes it's just a bit much. Sorry. I am down on... ladies. Shan't quit ripping them until I do get buckled. Grand work the last job was. I gave the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and want to start again. You will soon hear of me with my funny little games. I saved some of the proper red stuff in a finger beer bottle? Does it say ginger? That makes more sense. Ginger beer bottle over the last job to write with it, but it went thick like glue and I... yuck. I can't use it. Renning is fit enough, I hope. Haha. The next job I do, I shall clip the lady's ears off and send to the police officers just for jolly. Just for jolly, wouldn't you? What? Keep this letter back till I do a bit more work, then give it out straight. My knife's so nice and sharp, I want to get to work right away if I get a chance. Good luck. Yours truly, Jack the Ripper. Don't mind me giving the trade name. P.S. Wasn't good enough to post this before I got the red ink off my hands. Curse it. No luck yet. They say I'm a doctor now. Ha ha. I'm just gonna tiptoe around this case. Bad folk jokes. I stick inside. The constable are many. The constable are legion. We are the constable. Splish splosh having a bath. A bloodbath. Right. So the things that are underlined are right, red, ha ha, and another haha. That doesn't feel like that means anything yet, but we'll maybe see what's happening later. Oh, well, he kept his word. He left as soon as he read it.
Not up to discovering who Jack the Ripper is? Well, we'll soon find out, won't we, Inspector Aberline?
I've got chat behind me.
Wrote the Dear Boss letter signed Jack the Ripper that Inspector Aberline gave me, and above all, I now know why.
Oh,
This
what you
Tom
having?
Bulling was inspired by this fantastical character to build a myth out of the Whitechapel Killer. Perhaps he would be receptive if I shared my discovery about him and prevent him from accusing Squippy. I must find him at once. My best bet would be to try my luck at the pub.
Do we think it's Tom Bulling? Is that what we're saying? I'm confused. I thought he thought it was a doctor. But Tom Bulling's a journalist. Maybe. Well, Tom Bulling, I think is what he's saying is he had an obsession with Spring Heel Jack. He was very into Spring Heel Jack. Like, he was finding out a lot about the history of the story of Spring Heel Jack. And I'm wondering if that's... Some rice noodles with chicken bits. You got any sauce on there? Any sauce on your noodle? Not those noodles, though. Don't put sauce on the dogs. The pub. He said the pub. Sorry, I was so focused on what was happening. Is the pub here? No, that's the brothel. There's the pub.
Ah, Holmes, I got your message, and here I am.
Hi, Watson. I'm glad you're here.
What do you think, Holmes?
Nothing. I don't think anything.
Perfect, Watson.
Perfect little
that
spin.
oaf Bluto is looking for us with evil intentions, and he may be hiding here. I will try to get more information inside. You, Watson, will be our lookout, and at the slightest suspicious sound, do not hesitate to call the constable on his rounds.
Is that Tom Bulling at the table? I don't really know what's going on, I'm not gonna lie. Should I try and figure it out before the big reveal so I don't feel like a complete idiot? Ah, yes, this was him trying to find different names for Jack the Ripper, I think. The journalist. Spring Hill Jack, the Terror of London, fantastical character. Oh, that's unrelated. That's to do with the dead woman whose body was stolen. Okay. They were beef flavored noodles, so technically they were just some from Home Bargains. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Dogs would just look it off. Wait, I don't need to hold that. They would just look it off.
Good evening, Mr. Bulling.
We know each other?
No. However, I have some
he's the one with the red
information that
ink.
may be of interest to you.
Talk, my friend. A pint for you if what you say is worth something. Does it have to do with the Whitechapel
Suspicious.
murders?
I think he's made it.
Indeed,
He's sent the
I know
letter.
the identity of the man who wrote a letter to the police, a letter entitled Dear Boss, in which the author claims to be the Whitechapel murderer and is signed Jack the Ripper.
What?
It's a journalist who was inspired by Spring Hill Jack in order to strengthen the credibility and the seriousness of his agency. This new Jack will give him some first-hand information that he, in turn, will dole out sparingly to the authorities, as well as some carefully distilled indiscretions that the big papers will come to beg of him. He plays both sides off against one another and becomes the chief orchestrator of the rumour. He wrote this letter in this very spot, and he has red ink on his fingers. Like you.
What exactly are you after, my friend?
You've been threatening a certain Squibby to distribute a telegram naming him as a possible suspect in these murders in revenge for an old feud. I would suggest you don't write this note, and that you leave Squibby alone.
I'd forgotten about the existence of that rapscallion. I threw that at him when I was visiting the station to get the dope. You should have seen his face.
You must also stop sending these letters that waste the authorities' precious time.
Right, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. I have a great relationship with the Bobbies. Just ask around. I don't have to answer to nobody. Now leave me alone.
I have one option. It is to say goodbye to this man. Goodbye.
Farewell, sir.
Good riddance.
So was I wrong?
Yes, sir.
Oh, she doesn't say, all right, or whatever it was
No,
she said
if
before.
Pluto sees me, it could prove to be quite dangerous.
Just checking. I don't have anything else to say.
You wouldn't be the gas man that Bluto's looking for.
No.
Don't know him.
No, never even, don't even know what a gas is, buddy. Never even seen one of those gas men.
Let's hurry to the police station, Watson. We are close to our goal. Squibby will be able to reveal what he knows about Tumblety.
Why is he looking at me like that? Is that looking like this under the brim of his hat?
Squibby, so that's it. You're a free man again. We were just coming to the station to find you.
Yeah, the Bobbies agreed to let me go and I came to see Bluto before ferreting you out. So, you've seen the newspaper man?
Yes,
What?
he's in the pub and
What?
everything is taken care of, but I'm waiting to hear what you have to say about Dr. Tumblety.
Okay, but we have to be quick. One night, I goes to see Bluto in his hideout that ain't far from the boarding house where this Tumblety bloke has a room.
Yeah.
I see him coming in too. He must have been on one real binge. To the point, the Tumblety fella was there, and he smiles at me, all nice like. He tells me he's a great Yankee doctor, but my business interests him. I'm interested, I tell him, but I'm not the type to just jump right in without getting to know a person, see? He invites me around to his room to talk business, just him and me. We empty a bottle or two, and all of a sudden, like, he wants to show me what he's got in this big trunk that he always carts around places. I just about vomited, see? In these jars, just like pickles, you know, there were pieces of meat. And he whispers that it's the lady bits of some old dames. He called them pecky bins. I call them love killers, I would.
That's me.
Yeah. After that, he starts to go on about rich folk. They ain't nothing but dogs, and I won't tell you the worst of it. Then he comes all close to me and puts his sweaty hand on my leg. He was one of them types, not me. I don't wait a second before I give him a good thrashing, and I start running and let go of him, and he still wants to see me again just to talk business. But then I had to do time, so business.
Do you know where he can be found?
Why, ain't he in his digs? Maybe he got to liking life behind bars too. I heard that in some jobs there's a way to...
Thank you for your information, and we'll meet again, my friend. Here is the sum I promised to get you out of London.
Ciao, fella. I've just got a little score to settle with Bloater.
Oh, he's dead.
And I'm heading
He's
for
so
the
dead.
country.
Uh-oh. I think this is an ambush. Oh! It's dramatic.
My dear Watson, we must strike while the iron is hot. We have avoided meeting Dr. Tumblety until now. The time has come to do so.
Do you have an opinion, Holmes?
I'm so
We must
confused.
assure ourselves that the factor collector of female organs and a murderer who removes said organs are resident in the same area at the same time is nothing more than coincidence.
I am... Okay. So he has pickled organs in a massive crate that he carries around with him. Like, at all times. Or at least most of the time. And he's also potentially gay. Which... But, however, he hates rich people. Which doesn't make sense that he's targeting poor working women. Which they've all been very much poor so far. What is going on? Okay. Odd. Yeah, I guess we gotta go see... Oh, we'll talk to him first. Oh,
I
never mind.
thought that
Let's
you
see.
wouldn't bring me back your keys. It's... Oh, it's you, Mr. Holmes.
Hello.
Good evening, Dr. Watson.
The keys.
Indeed, it is I again. One of your tenants left without returning his keys?
Yes, it's Dr. Tumblety
Damn
who
it.
we spoke about.
He's left.
Shortly after your last visit here, some constables came and asked me a few questions regarding him. Barely had they left than the doctor came barreling around a street corner and rushed up into his room upstairs. A little while afterwards, while I was tidying, I heard a thud in his room and a rush down the stairs. He left with most of his bags, but without returning his keys. You can go up and see if you wish. The door is still open.
Maybe he's planning on coming back? And so he wants his keys? But he didn't lock the door, presumably. Is it this one? No, that's the one that was abandoned. The gas leak.
Careful, Watson. Do not walk around here until I've inspected these marks.
Stay where you
I
are.
know, Holmes, I know. I understand your methods.
Stay still.
Ah, you have your rule and magnifying glass. I thought that you had forgotten them, Holmes.
I never forget the essentials, my dear Watson.
Okay.
Size 13.
Ah, I didn't even need to check if I was doing that right.
Right foot, light trails. The man was running.
I would like to... I'd like to confer with the chat here. If he was running, would his entire foot be on the ground? I guess? But usually if you're running, you only put like a little bit of your foot to like... Anyway. Depends, I suppose.
Right foot, light trails.
Oh, I'm not done.
You have
I've
your
missed something.
rule.
I never forget the essential. This isn't water. Going by its sticky texture and odor, I'd say we're dealing with formalin. These are the footprints of a tall man who had recently stepped in formalin and who left this room in a hurry.
Well, can I walk on it and enter the room now, Holmes?
No. I must go first. Stay there. Formalin. I'm assuming, is that feels like, is that what it's in, specimen jars? It feels like if someone told me that it was, I would be like, that sounds right. Also, there was stuff on the door, but maybe it was just a disgusting door. Hello? Sorry, I can't move around the room. I need to put my coffee down. I can do the investigating with one hand, but walking around the room is... Actually, technically, I could walk around the room with only one hand, but I don't want to use the third person. It's weird. Do not understand how you found yourself in this situation. Your passionate discussions on the legitimacy of this war should have convinced more than one. I still remember when you imitated him during that meeting. You struck that very characteristic pose, and you exclaimed, "Vicksburg is the key. The war can never be brought to a close until that key is in our pocket." We all applauded. I'm sure that even Lincoln himself would have applauded. During these dark hours, it was rare to have the occasion to laugh. So many deaths, ending with our much-loved president killed by this coward and left to join those who the victory of the Gettysburg, who courageously fell so the next day the key would be in our pocket. I don't know what's going on.
If it's addressed to him, it would appear our doctor is a veteran of the American Civil War. Vicksburg is the key. Now, that is interesting.
Yeah, that's a code. It feels like that's code. Typically, there's a pressure difference shown in the footprint. See, I thought... I was very confident with it, and then I realized I might be completely wrong, and I might have had a lot of misplaced confidence. So I was like, just gonna check. Formaldehyde that used to be... Oh, so I was right! It is... Okay, so that is probably what he stood in then. So he either dropped a jar or he dropped a bottle of formaldehyde formalin. Look at that. See, I thought it sounded right. I don't think I knew that. I think I was thinking of formaldehyde, but it's close enough. I can walk around with just one hand, bragging out her strength and dexterity. I can walk with one hand. I know. The temperature seems to be very fluctuating today, because look, it's very, very sunny. But it doesn't feel super warm. Also, I've decided that I like how the stream looks with the curtains open, and like, it's nice and bright in the background. I think it looks very nice and inviting. And while I can, when I'm not streaming during the winter, I will keep the curtains open. So sounds similar and turned out to be correct. Also fun fact, I could walk with no hands. I mean, yeah. I could tie both my hands behind my back and still manage to walk. Probably couldn't stand up from the floor very well, but I could walk. Dear Francis, it is impossible for us to meet again. I'm feeling terrible, as pursuing our relationship further would put both my marriage and... Married man. Both my marriage and my reputation in danger. I must return to the life I love, fleeting and physical, in which a few coins to these young men assures corporal peace and anonymity. Okay. I think I'm figuring out what's going on. These growing feelings that I have for you make me scared, and I would prefer to shun this passion for the fear that it may never leave me. Perhaps we shall cross paths again in a discreet location where like-minded men meet. Right, yeah, gay. He's gay. I know that you frequent them regularly. You never hide yourself. For my part, I will spend more time with my wife and girls in order to find the serenity, and I hope to throw the veil of oblivion over our passionate embraces. All the best, Charles. My dear Francis, it is in putting aside our common past and thus a friend that I am sending you these words. I have learned from some mutual friends of your recent trouble with the law. You should be more careful. England has nothing in common with the Wild West, but her seedy areas can be just as dangerous. Your attraction to young rogues will cost you dearly one of these days, whether it be the end of an alley or the benches of a jury. A man of your quality and fortune does not have to frequent the hovels and bring his pistol with him everywhere. It is not necessary to use violence to find partners, unless this violence pleases you. Certain circles that we used to frequent are still open to you. Take advantage of this healthy and respectable company rather than demeaning yourself with these destitute lads. And pray get rid of that god-awful chest. Who knows what people to whom you show while bragging must think and speak of it. The man you once loved. Henry. That's someone else.
This Dr. Tumblety seems to be attracted to men more than women. That much is clear. So, the doctor has a handgun, and he would use it to restrain young men, perhaps.
Okay, so... he... gets with younger men. He's been described as rogues? but he uses violence to so does he, is it, I don't want to think about that, but like, are they not willing? Because I don't like that. Nothing about them being men, just about them being willing. I'm more questioning how you would tie your own hands behind your back. I mean, you could do it. You could do like with duct tape or something, but it would be really awkward. Remember, kids, formaldehyde is the opposite of informal to Jekyll.
There are
Terrible.
a few pieces of a large glass jar in this puddle. The man
Oh
who
my
left
god,
the
that's a
footprints on the
uterus!
ground must have walked in it while fleeing.
I did not take in what that was. I thought it was just like a scrap of fabric, but that's a uterus, isn't it? You can see the two ovary tubes. Fallopian tubes? Yuck. Oh, Joe's coming at a great time. Hi, honey. Oh. Apologies. Joe just wanted to ask if I needed a coffee. It's a uterus, not a meterus. Wait. I don't know what that means. Why can't I? Okay, maybe I shouldn't click on it. That's kind of... Watson, you seeing this? Is that even the right size? You know what? Let's stop looking at the uterus on the floor.
These footprints are the same as those found in front of the door. These footsteps must be those of Squibby. He must have hit Tumblety, who dropped one of his jars.
And he ran out. Elementary, Holmes.
He said it!
Perfect, Watson.
Except it was the wrong person, but it was said.
Going by its size, this enormous trunk must be a wardrobe. These brackets are rather unusual. What do you think, Watson?
Let's see, Holmes. These are the names of the battles from the American Civil War.
Yes, which I definitely know a lot about, being raised and educated in Scotland. And say I've measured or compared you to a slices of daily objects or reference. I was once told to make a triangle with your thumbs and first finger. Like that? But obviously, that way up. Who knew you were going to have a biology lesson today? Not me. And it's my stream. I didn't know. Maybe we should play educational games. That would be fun. Play some educational games for children. See how much I could learn. Because I don't know much. I had this... sorry, I'm going on a tangent now, but I had this educational game that I think belonged to one of my sisters, and it was... because it was a little bit too old for me at the time, but I don't think I ever played it when I got old enough. But it was an alien in like an attic bedroom. I found it because I remember I was talking to someone about it off of stream, and I googled it because I was so annoyed that I couldn't find it. Because if you look up like educational game with an alien, there's this American game that comes up, and it was so hard to find, and I found it. But I don't... it probably wouldn't be hard now, though I think it was maths, so maybe it would. Maybe we do that. Maybe we'll do an educational special. We'll play educational games. What's the puzzle here? I'm American. Okay. I'll set it on you guys.
Let's see. 5 latches, each fitted with a 6-number combination system.
Okay. Oh, I can change the flags, and I can change the hats. And I can change the combos, obviously. Are these the dates of the different... and this one's correct. Play everything on Cool Math Games. I don't know if that even exists. It probably is. If it's probably run on Flash, it might not exist. You might be able to find it, though. You might be able to go back in time. And I do have a plugin for my Firefox browser that lets you play old Flash games if they still are, like, hosted on the website. Thank you for the hit coin. Thank you very much. Okay. When I get these puzzles, I do feel really good. Because they give you so little to go off of. But most of the time I have to look things up. Right, we're not going to look things up yet. So Vicksburg was mentioned in one of the letters. And Gettysburg was mentioned as well. The other 3 weren't mentioned in the letters that I found. Okay, let's see if there's any more clues around, and then we might see if we can work it out. Hold on. Go to third person, and... Nope, third person. I think I've found everything. Yeah. Okay. Does it actually tell me? The victory at Gettysburg, who courageously fell, so the next day the key would be in our pocket. I feel like we should just look in his pockets. Was it maybe the last one was Vicksburg? Okay. I don't imagine it.
By its size.
So, as I say, whenever we get a puzzle that's a bit tricky like this, the game shouldn't expect me to have outward knowledge. Like, that's bad puzzle design if the game is like, you need to know these things from outside of the game that we haven't given you. You need to know this information. I hope the winners had the coolest hats. Definitely how it works. Yeah. There were dates at the bottom. Yeah, so I think the latest date is Vicksburg. So that the latest, well, that's 1771. That's quite... No, it's not 1771. Sorry, I saw the 7-1 and I went to that. It's obviously not 1771. It's 1868. Yeah. I just saw the last two dates and didn't think any further of it. 1868. So... Okay, I can't undo it. I have to go all the way through. Oh. Do I just do 68 here? Since the Henry Cavill War started in Fort Sumter, I would guess the dates need to be in chronological order. It make... Yeah, that... Okay. Na, na, na. No, that's not the American national anthem. Why did I sing that? Okay, so we have... That's the Confederate flag, right? I have no idea what that flag is. I want to say Denmark. Why is it twice? Also, I don't know if that's Denmark. I want to state for the jury, I am very bad at geography. I never did it in school. We did geography, but all we learned about was how rocks are formed and things like tectonic plates. We never learned about the countries. Not properly. We learned the continents and that was it. So I'm really bad at this. Yes, I got it right. I don't need no Henry Cavill War. It feeds the rich while it buries the poor. Okay, so we're gonna go in date order, which means this is... But am I only putting the year and the month? Or am I putting the day and the month and the end of the year? Okay. There's two 1863s. July, I think. But then again, how am I supposed to know this from just what this game is giving me? That's not fair. And also, how am I supposed to know which hats it is? Maybe I have to... Okay. Let's see if I can leave.
I need more information.
Okay. No, I can't. I do need to open this before I can leave.
What are we doing, Holmes?
How much you know about war, Watson? You were in one, right? You want to bring that horrible memory up just to give me some info? You got your American friend to help. Can you imagine playing this when it came out and just being like, I know any Americans? I'm gonna give them a phone call. Yeah. Okay, let me look at the letter that I picked up again. So that's just being like, by the way, he's gay. That's what those are. This is the only letter that we found that's not to do with him being gay. You struck the very characteristic pose and you said, Vicksburg is the key. The war can never be brought to a close until the key is in our pocket. During these dark hours, it was rare to have such an occasional laugh. Killed by this coward left to join those of the victory at Gettysburg who courageously fell, so the next day the key would be in our pocket. So...
Going by its size...
The next day. None of them are a day apart. And they are written in the British way of writing dates, which I'm now noticing because 17. I know about Gettysburg because it was the largest battle fought in my state. I don't even know what any of these flags are. How am I supposed to know what these are? Like, clearly there's different hats, right? And some of them will be from different armies and who won. But it doesn't give me anything. Surely it doesn't expect me to know all of these dates just off the top of my head. Anything else I can click on? Sorry, the thing that keeps coming up in the corner is when I accidentally nudge the... Oh! Oh! I keep trying to sneeze, it goes away. Oh! Nope, never mind. That was really weird. I was like sneezing and doing the breathing in to sneeze hurt my chest a little bit, and that stopped the sneeze. I'm assuming it's the date of the war and the flag and the uniform are who won. Yeah, but how am I supposed to know those things? Am I supposed to find out in this room? Is there an encyclopedia in like the cupboard or something I can just reference? Is the uterus helpful in any way? Only two armies in the Civil War, Confederate and Union. Is Union the United States, the current flag? Or is it got a different flag? Because again, I wasn't taught about the Civil War. I also wasn't taught about the War for Independence. Or any other war, really. I mean, I learned about the World Wars. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So Sherlock always carries around two things, a chat room and hint coins. I could use a hint coin to look up how I'm supposed to figure it out. Like, if there's something I'm missing in this room, rather than just find out the answer, because that's boring. Because also, even if I, by power of deduction, figure out which dates are which, how am I supposed to know who won each war? Other than I have a letter that says that he was in one of the wars. He was on... Yeah. North Italy, more typically American light flag. Battles.
Going by its size.
Yeah, correct. I said that wrong. You're right. They would be battles in the same war. Okay. I'm gonna look up how I'm supposed to figure this out. I found a guide and it says that you can Google the dates. You just have to know. That's not very good. I mean, I can make the assumption that they are in date order. That they are chronological. But I don't know who won. I don't know what uniform they wore. Without asking my American friends. Confederacy won. And you said they wore gray, right? That's their uniform? That one? Okay. I'm going to put the next date in. So we have 71, and then the next one is 12/04/61, but it's 1861. Union was navy blue. Okay. So then we have Antietam. I'm giving out all the options in case I'm saying it wrong. Anti-tem. But it has an A. I will obviously defer to you guys. I'm going to put the next date in. How did I make it? That was weird. That one's jumped straight to 9. I don't know how I did that. And then this one is... Oh, we're missing a date. We have 6 dates and 5 latches. Union 1. Thank you. Ugh. Is that what the Union flag looks like? He said they were blue. So that's them. They've got a Scottish flag on their hat. How confusing. Or is it the one that actually looks like the American flag, like down here? Oh, is this saying that... Okay. Oh, from far away, the Scottish flag is blue with 2 white crosses like that. So from far away, that looks like a Scottish flag. Okay, so it's... Okay, I'm guessing it's that one? Because there's 2 that... This one or this one? Also, is this saying that this is when Lincoln died? Because I don't know if the date's right. And I know that... But it's a top hat. And they mentioned Lincoln dying in the letter. So I don't know if that's relevant. And then that's why we have to make sure the dates are all before Lincoln's death. Because maybe Vicksburg was after his death. But the other ones weren't. Lincoln's address ending the war. But it said they lost the president. Did they mean the previous one? Why are you making this so hard for me? Not you, chat. I'm yelling at the people who make the game. Don't worry, I'm not telling you off, chat. Why are you making this so hard for me? Why? Why do I have to know all of these dates? I'm never going to remember these dates. Can you imagine in like 2 years someone comes to me and is like, when was the Battle of Chancellorsville fought in the American Civil War? And I'll be like, 18 something. If I even remember that. Hence why the US flag and Lincoln's hat. So this is wrong because that's after the date that the war was ended. So this is 0307. What's better? Yeah, no. I mean, even stuff I have been taught, like when World War II ended, I don't think I could tell you confidently. I always want to say 41, but I don't know if that's when it ended or when it started. And I could be wrong. That could be completely wrong. I did learn about that. So yeah, this has to be... And this is 020563. And it was trying to trick me by putting the 44. See, oh, 45, never mind. I was like, I thought it could be maybe 44. The problem with being live on stream, I can say things and then realize I'm an idiot. But then it's there and it's going to be there forever for the rest of time. Okay, sorry. You were saying Chancellorsville was May 6th, 1863. None of them are those days. There's a 2nd of May. 1863. Maybe they're not in order then. Sketchy, help. How much do you know about the American Civil War? Sketchy's like manifests and then demanifests immediately. The American Union flag is the one with the circle of stars. This one. Is that right? Okay, so... But I don't have that option for anti-tem. A plain bagel. Like a good bagel. I think there's a bagel in the kitchen, but I'm pretty sure it's stale by now. It was for Joe. I got him an everything. They've Little have started selling everything bagels, so I finally know what those are, because we didn't have those here, or at least not easily accessible, easy to find. Don't really like them, to be honest. It's not really worth it. Just have a plain bagel. I mean, sketchy, probably simplifying it, but that is also what I know. All the sites are blocked at work. Everything bagels are the best. It's just, maybe it's the way it's been made, but it just it doesn't add anything for me. Like, it's got more flavor, it's got a different flavor, but it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't, like, I don't want that over, like, a sesame bagel, or just a plain bagel with nothing on it. Like, as in nothing on the bread. You put stuff on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So, sketchy. You've arrived. This is a puzzle within Sherlock Holmes, as you can see. In fact, I'm going to move my camera just for this puzzle because I think... Why is that not working? My buttons aren't working. Hold on. I need to fix this. Yeah, so he's this character... Sorry, while I fix this. This character is a American doctor who we have discovered is a Civil War vet. However, the game, as far as I can tell, has absolutely no way of telling you what any of these dates are. Like, there's no book you can look it up in. It's all just outside knowledge. So chat has collectively deemed I didn't need to use a hint coin to find that out. So I had to look it up. But I didn't look up the answers. I just looked up whether I'd be able to know from within the game. Why is that not working? Hey, there we go. Sorry. So, I'm now down here because I'm hoping that I'm not going to cover anything up if I'm down here. I'm using it despite being a puzzle about American history. It's using UK date formatting. Yeah, that's what we were saying as well. But I think that would just be more confusing if it used American formatting. Even though it's all about America, I feel like we'd be like, what's this 17th month and stuff? Anyway. Annoyingly, I can't reset it. And I could try, like, just reset it and start again. But, so, chat is helping me by giving me information. However, the dates don't necessarily line up very well, because there is supposed to be one of the battles that finished on May the 9th or May the 7th or something, and I only have the 2nd of May. I say at this point, look up the solution. No hint coin, this one is dumb. I think I need at least 3 people in chat to say that I don't need to use a hint coin to allow me to look it up. I feel like I still should, but if 3 or more of you are like, you're fine, then I'll look it up without paying a hint coin. I'm gonna look it up anyway, but whether I have to pay the hint coin. No hint coin needed, thank you. So, well, this is a terrible guide. It just says, put in the input the answer, look it up, or something. Wow. Okay. No hint coin needed, this one is tough. I'd look it up at this point. I'd say it's based on it requiring outside knowledge. See, you guys are all great. Thank you very much. Okay. I found a PC guide walkthrough. Okay, I guess I gotta find it, because I'm not gonna be able to find it just by scrolling. It'll take too long. Tumble tea. No? Tumble doesn't come up with anything? Ah, I see. That's why, because it's separated into chapters. Oh, it's weird. They've done the whole thing in third person. I'm like, what? I don't remember seeing that scene. That's the dates of everything. Okay, I'm skipping through. We'll get there. I swear. Much I enjoy watching you suffer through things. We will want you to succeed. Very cute. Thank you. Very nice of you. New game this summer. Hitcoin. From the devs who bought you Hitman comes a new puzzle game. You play the part of a Hitcoin solving puzzles as part of a shady government group. Wait till you meet the main villain, Slider. Very good. Oh, I did do a bunch of the puzzles. I was starting to think I'd looked up everything in this game, but I have done a few of the puzzles without having to look things up, so I don't feel too bad. Nope, still not in the right place. This game is huge. I don't know if I feel like I must be near the end. Oh, I haven't done that puzzle. Okay, I've scrolled too far. There we go. You can see the name of 5 important war battles from the American Civil War. Those names are in the middle part of the screen. On the left side of the names, you must enter the date of the battle. On the right side, you must fill in the correct flag and the correct hat/uniform. At the bottom, there are 6 dates. You have to enter 5 of those to the battle names. So you click on the boxes with zeros to enter the correct dates. It must be like this. And then it gives me the picture. So. Hey! I didn't even need to change the hat because you guys knew who won that one. But that was 120461. This is 170962. It's that flag, apparently. That's the flag. This one, no, this is where I stopped putting in the flags and the hats. So this is I'm gonna have to do the whole thing here. Oh, I just happen to have that one correct. Okay. 03 07 63, and that's... See, I know I've heard of Gettysburg, because I've heard of the Gettysburg Address, though I don't know what it is. I've heard of it. And this one is 04 07 63, and it was blue hats. And...
Elementary.
That's the answers, I guess. We only enjoy the suffering when it's self-inflicted as opposed to unnecessary due to requiring you to delve into the history book or Wikipedia. Oh, you know what would have been really fun is if I actually had like the Encyclopedia Britannica and I could just go and actually, would it even be in there? But I could go and look it up in an encyclopedia and come back. I used to love doing that. Sorry, I will get back to the game. We had a room growing up, in the utility room, we had a shelf of all the dictionaries and encyclopedias and stuff. And it was really fun. If you didn't know something, you didn't Google it because we didn't have phones that could Google things yet. I mean, I'm not that old, but I didn't have a good phone because I was a child. And you just go and get the dictionary or the encyclopedia and just look it up. I used to love that. I used to love looking stuff up. Very much a librarian's child. Game devs. Okay, we give them a quick biology lesson on the floor. Now we need a palate cleanser. I know. How about we make them learn about a country's civil war? Perfect. I know we're going to learn some Civil War history today. Not sure I'll remember it though, so don't test me. Oh, you don't want me to go ask on the headset and be like, hey, when was the Gettysburg War battle? Sorry. I did give you the Gettysburg date. This puzzle was dumb. You did, yes. I will say, you guys did give me a lot of the dates. So thank you very much, Sick Inside and Mox, for all of the info that you guys gave me. I really appreciate it. You guys are MVPs and I would give you channel points if I could. Just wait, soon your PIN numbers and password will be changed to dates of major world battles. Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, I just remember my PIN number. I wouldn't... I wouldn't remember it because it's a battle. I would just memorize it. Potentially being an Encyclopedia Britannica, after all, is British history adjacent. Does the Encyclopedia Britannica only cover British stuff? Because I always thought it was everything, but they couldn't possibly put everything in it anyway.
This is dreadful, Holmes. This trunk contains 4 jars in which organs are floating.
Is it?
Watson,
Can't
can
see
you tell me
anything.
at a glance what these organs are?
I would say that they are parts of female reproductive organs.
Are these specimens fresh?
No, and I am quite certain of it. From the colour and appearance, I'd say these organs have been in these jars for several months, if not years.
Let's go to Baker Street.
Disgusting. Oh, I didn't even have to tell them to do it. They just did it on their own.
Someone here?
Yes.
He never stopped sweeping. That poor man.
What's going on, Finley? You seem to be in a panic.
The two police officers wanted to know if someone suspicious had entered here. The Whitechapel killer has struck again, and if I understood correctly, he killed 2 women in the past few hours.
Where?
I don't know. The police didn't tell me anything.
Quick, Holmes. We must catch up with them.
Certainly not, Watson. Mr. Finley, do you know if the doctor had any other pieces of luggage up there apart from this trunk?
1 or 2, I think.
Do you take care of the doctor's laundry?
My wife does laundry for the tenants once a week.
Ugh, so
The
sweet.
sheets likewise.
Would you be kind enough to let us know as soon as possible if the doctor shows up again?
Certainly. I'm just worried that he won't be back, you see, and I'm annoyed about my keys.
Holmes, I don't follow. The Whitechapel killer is, at this very moment, very close by, and we are just staying put, twiddling our thumbs.
The Whitechapel killer has always been nearby, and what will we do? Go back to the scene of the crime or crimes and mix with the onlookers and trample the crime scenes even more? No, our time will come. Let's return to Baker Street.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home.
He spelt it wrong. Holmes, sweet Holmes. Wait. Oh, never mind.
We
More
were less than
cutscene.
200 feet away from the first victim a few minutes before she was murdered. We might even have heard the murderer's voice, and we haven't done a thing for the past week.
You're the one not doing anything, Watson. For my part, I have been working, and as you know, I've made good use of this week by tracking down and verifying all of the solid facts on these 2 murders to write up the notes that are on my desk, read them over again, and try to gain a bit of perspective.
Hello, sorry about that. During that cutscene, Joe came in, so I just thought I'd let it play and chat to him, but then it jumped to this. So, what did I miss? I know there was a chat. Can I go to the dialogues? We were less than 200 feet away from the first victim a few minutes before she was murdered. We might even have heard the murderer's voice. We haven't done a thing for the past week. You're the only one. You're the one not doing anything, Watson. For my part, I've been working, and as you know, I've made good use of the week by tracking down and verifying all the solid facts. These 2 murders to write up notes that are on my desk, read them over again, and try to gain a bit of perspective. Okay. I didn't miss much. Nancy Drew, the Carmen Sandiego of mysteries. It's always Nancy Drew. Did I miss anything else? Oh, we're talking about Encyclopedia Britannica. It is. I didn't think it was just UK stuff, but then I thought I'm gonna look like an idiot if it is, because obviously the name. Encarta and then Encarta Online sounds familiar. What you missed was Sherlock being tremendously rude and not appreciating his platonic life partner. He's so mean to poor Watson. Note on the murder of Liz Stride at excuse me, Duffields Yard. Certain information I've collected must be verified. Liz Stride, nickname Long Liz, 45 years old, height 5'5", occasional prostitute. I don't know why I thought that's so funny that it's the way he phrased that. She lived for the past 3 years in a stormy relationship with a certain Kidney, a waterside labourer, 36 years of age, who she left a few days earlier. She charged him with assault but failed to appear in court and the case was thrown out. The victim was discovered dead by one Louis Diemschutz at 1 o'clock in the morning on September 30th. The man's first thought was to verify if his wife in the building next door was still alive before sounding the alarm. 2 doctors who came, at the police's request, to the scene of the crime in the moments after the discovery of the corpse, with the time of death after 12:46 a.m. Cause of death, hemorrhage due to throat injury. The weapon was a small knife and with a large blunt edge. The verification of the statement is necessary. Could this wound have been caused by another tool? You had Encyclopedia Britannica here in the US too. Ah, perfect. Neither the body nor the clothes were damaged, soiled, or disturbed by the killer. The right hand was open, stained with blood, and resting on the chest. Sorry. Clearly, I did do a little bit more singing than I thought last night. The left hand was on the ground, partially closed, holding a packet of pastilles. The location of the discovery was a courtyard called Dutfield's Yard, whose doors led onto Burner Street in Whitechapel. The victim was found stretched out on the ground a few inches from the wall of one of the buildings served by this courtyard. The International Working Men's Club. Wait, is this a new one? This is a new one. This isn't one we've already looked at. I thought this was going to be all of the notes together. The association, composed mainly of Jews originally from Russia or Poland, was organizing a conference that night on the subject, Why Jews Should Be Socialists, presented by Mr. Morris Eagle. The meeting ended around 11:30 p.m., but many members remained to debate and sing within the premises of the association. An American present at that evening declared to have been in the courtyard at 12:20 a.m. and went into the street. Didn't see anything unusual. I've just realized I've been fiddling with this. It's probably making a noise on the microphone. So sorry. It's a dice necklace, but it's got like a little bit that goes up so you can take the dice out, the d20. It's very cute. I love it. It was a gift from a lovely friend. But it's a cool fidget thing, and I'm fidgeting with it a lot, so hopefully you can't hear that. He then returned back inside the club, but his estimation of time spent outside is approximate at best. 2 witnesses were quoted by the press: Constable Smith, who was doing his rounds in the area on the night in question, and a Hungarian by the name of Schwartz, who made his statement at the police station accompanied by an interpreter because he doesn't speak English. Transcription of these statements by the press should be treated with caution. It would be advisable, if at all possible, to consult the exact content. Observe the clothing worn by the victim as well as her possession at the time of the discovery of the body. Clothing: long black cloth jacket, fur trimmed around the bottom with a red rose and white maidenhair fern pinned to it. Black skirt, black crepe bonnet. Checked neck scarf knotted on left side, dark brown velveteen bodice, 2 light serge petticoats. Your Schwartz is as big as mine. I guess it's a good way to ensure you can always roll for initiative. Yes, exactly. I should use this when people redeem roll for initiative. But I also kind of want to save it for like a really important, like a death save or something for a character. It's not balanced though, so I probably shouldn't. 1 white chemise, white stockings, spring side boots, 2 handkerchiefs. One is noticed to have fruit stains on it. A thimble, a piece of wood wound around a cart. A piece of wool, wound around a cart. In the pocket in her underskirt, a key, a small piece of lead pencil, 6 large and 1 small button, a comb. This is great. This is in your skirt. A broken piece of comb, a metal spoon, a hook as from a dress, a piece of muslin, 1 or 2 small pieces of paper. I wonder how true that is of the actual murders of Jack the Ripper, and that's why it's so detailed. Note on the murder of K. Eddowes. Oh god, no. Oh thank god, I thought there was going to be 4 of them.
I have read and reread them. But give me something to do then. A task where I can get stuck in, because...
Find me a slaughterhouse that will give us exclusive use of its block for an hour. And find me, in your opinion, which common animal shares the most characteristics with humans from a physiological point of view.
He's going to do the whipping thing, isn't he?
Pig?
I don't even know why I asked that question. Pray, find a dozen fresh pig's heads, Watson. Not big heads, I prefer small ones.
Sows?
That's it, Watson. As soon as you have done that, let me know. I request that you search in Whitechapel. Who knows, perhaps you will learn something about where Dr. Tumblety may be hiding. There is also no shortage of slaughterhouses and pig's heads in those parts.
I love him continuing to talk with the pipe in his mouth. I will say, I'm pretty sure Sherlock was like, our time has come, back to Baker Street, and then time passed, and they did nothing. What the hell is in your pipe that you now want pig heads? I didn't actually finish reading the documents because I thought there was going to be one for every murder that's happened, and I was like, I'm not going to read all that. So I'll read this one as well. Note on the murder of Catherine Eddowes. Catherine Eddowes, 46 years old, height 5 foot. Straight 5 foot. Occasional prostitute. She had a regular relationship for 7 years with one John Kelly, a man of no regular employment and about the same age as the victim. The victim was found dead at 1:44 a.m. on September 30th. Were these the 2 murders that happened before the game started? I think they were. Hold on, what did he say specifically? I've made good use of this week by tracking down and verifying all the solid fact on these two murders to write up the notes that are on my desk. I don't even know what... Is that the first 2 murders? Watson needs to stop enabling Holmes' behavior. I mean, he has evidence that it always leads to the correct conclusion. So, you know, maybe he's like, whatever Holmes asks me, it'll turn out right in the end. But it doesn't mean that he, again, I said this before, but it means he now has the reputation as a guy who goes and buys pigs' heads and then just wanders around with them. It's all Watson. Like with Nancy Drew. It's always Nancy Drew. Sorry. September the 30th, by PC Watkins, who was on his rounds. He secured the area by calling to the watchman of the warehouse located some feet from the crime scene. According to the doctor who arrived on the scene at 2:18 a.m., the victim had just been dead for a half hour. Unlikely, but we know from experience how hard it is to precisely establish the time of death when the corpse has been very mistreated. Cause of death. Hemorrhage due to a throat wound. The medical examiner also confirmed that, additionally, the extractions committed on the corpse were done post-mortem by a right-handed man possessing a long-bladed knife. The victim was subject to numerous mutilations. The victim was found stretched out in the dark corner of Mitre Square, a notorious meeting spot for prostitutes and their clients because it's a remote, poorly lit location. It should be noted that the victim was freed from the Bishopgate Street Police drunk tank at 1 o'clock in the morning. Mitre Square was visited at 1:30, but I feel like we're going to have to do a timeline later, by PC Watkins coming from Mitre Street at 1:42 a.m. by PC Harvey coming from Church Passage. The two police constables didn't see anything suspicious in the area, but it should be noticed that PC Harvey didn't enter into Mitre Square, unlike PC Watkins. The watchman that came to lend a hand to Watkins, I hope you're all keeping up with this because I'm taking in like 50% of it. Watson the Ripper would be a great twist. They couldn't then make the next game canonically the same Watson and Sherlock, which I think it might be. I actually don't know the order in these games. Obviously, the order is probably the order that came out, but I don't know how many of them are connected, because obviously the newest Sherlock Holmes games are like a different new timeline in this universe. So I don't know if they're... Yeah. Well, someone's a doctor. You're right. He's been around, and he said it himself. He wasn't even 200 yards from the victim. So... Sherlock is a manifestation of Watson's PTSD. It's like Fight Club. It's like the opposite of the new version where Watson isn't real. Sorry. The watchman who came to lend a hand to Watkins at the time of the discovery of the body had been awoken during the time of the crime. His door is located a few feet from the spot where the victim was dying and didn't hear anything until the police's call. Firstly, we must note that the clothing worn by Catherine Eddowes was very characteristic. I think, in particular, the patterned green chintz skirt, as well as the white men's vest. Is that how you say that? I think it must be, right? A few of her possessions, including the thimble, were found around the corpse. The white apron was found on the corpse with a part missing. Thus, this missing part, previously re-sewn, thus ensuring authenticity, was found at 2:55 a.m. on the night of the murder by PC Alfred Long, who states that the object wasn't there at the preceding patrol at 2:20 a.m. A piece of bloody apron was found in the entrance hall leading to the stairs of 108 to 119 Wentworth Model Dwellings on Golston Street. I would say Gloucester Street there. That's not how you spell Gloucester at all. At the right of the entrance, just above the apron, was found the following inscription in chalk. Is that supposed to say Jews? Because it looks like it says Jaws. The Jaws are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. Oh, the Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. The Wentworth Model Dwellings building being almost exclusively occupied by Israelites and Golston Street being the site of a very popular, much frequented market, he decided to erase the inscription before the day broke. Kate Eddowes' belongings, wearing at the time of her murder, black straw bonnet trimmed in green and black velvet with black beads, black strings worn tied to the head, black cloth jacket trimmed around the collar and cuffs with imitation fur and around the pockets in black silk, braid and fur. Large metal buttons. So, did they not make models for these ones and that's why they have so much description? Apparently this game doesn't fit in the timeline canonically. I guess that does make sense because there isn't a Jack the Ripper book and the other ones are maybe all based on books. I don't actually know for sure though if that's true. It just exists. Watson was an MD and surgeon. Makes perfect sense. What? It's Watson. Watson. I feel like yes. I'm gonna keep going though, even though this is like 5 pages long. Dark green chintz skirt, 3 flounces, brown button on waistband. The skirt is patterned with Michaelmas daisies and golden lilies. Man's white vest, matching buttons down front. Brown linsey bodice, black velvet collar with brown buttons down front. Grey stuff petticoat with white waistband. Very old green alpaca skirt, worn as undergarment. Very old ragged blue skirt with red flounces. Light twill lining, worn as undergarment. White calico chemise. Pair of men's lace-up boots, mohair laces, right boot repaired with red thread, 1 piece of red gauze silk worn as neckerchief, 1 large white pocket handkerchief, 1 large white cotton handkerchief with red and white bird's eye border, 2 unbleached calico pockets, tape strings, 1 blue stripe bed ticking pocket, brown ribbed knee stockings darned with white cotton. Possessions: 2 small blue bags, 2 short black clay pipes, 1 tin box containing tea, 1 tin box containing sugar, 1 tin matchbox empty, 12 pieces white rag, 1 piece coarse linen white, 1 piece blue and white skirting, 3 cornered, 1 piece red flannel with pins and needles, 6 pieces of soap, 1 small tooth comb, 1 white handle table knife, 1 metal spoon, 1 red leather cigarette case with white metal fittings, 1 ball hemp, 1 piece of old white apron with repair, silver buttons, and a thimble. Muster tin containing 2 pawn tickets, 1 in the name of Emily Burrell, 52 Whites Road, dated August 31st, 7 pence for a man's flannel shirt. The other is in the name of Jane Kelly of 6 Dorset Street and dated September 28, 2 shillings for a pair of men's boots. Both addresses are false. Printed handbill, portion of the pair of spectacles, 1 red mitten, and a partridge in a pear tree. This is so odd. I've read it all, so no one can say I'm not thorough. Now, where were we supposed to be going? I wasn't paying attention again. Oh, I need to go to get the sows. Is there a butcher? A butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. Where am I going? Map of London? The hospital? Can I go to the hospital? Central News Agency, Fleet Street. Where do we go to get... I mean, a butcher, but I don't have a butcher on my map. Pet shop? They wouldn't have pig's heads. Why would they have pig's heads?
I have no reason to go that way.
You know what? This is actually going to help. Okay, none of those are right. So I have to go to Whitechapel. I just don't know where. Maybe I'm supposed to walk around until I find...
What a ridiculous idea to have asked
okay.
Holmes for something to do. Where on earth am I going to find what he wants? Perhaps that kind Lucy will be able to help me.
Well, there you go. Now I need to know where I'm going. Now I know where I'm going. Oh, hello. Oh, yes, I told myself... I said it to the pet shop, which is like in a dark alley, so...
Let's go to Miss Bella's.
Monkey sick insect. He's not around. The beep beep man's not here. Also, I made an error, and I'm annoyed about it. So I showed... Yesterday, if you were here, I showed you guys the... I edited together the highlights from April's streams. And the first clip I included was the beep beep man, which the clip is from May, not April. And I'm like, I've done that wrong. So I don't know if I re-edit it and put a different clip at the beginning. But... Or if I just leave it. You did. I knew somebody did. I couldn't remember who it was. It's fine, leave it. I just hope that I get a good clip for the beginning of the highlight reel for this month. So that I don't feel like I've wasted it. Or I've used it wrong. Can I go in her house? Is this not her window? I'm sure that was her window. Lucy! Oh, Lucy! You sure the suspect's actually a man? No. But we know roughly how tall and the build of the person and how strong they'd have to be. So it could be a woman, but more likely it's a man. Okay, hold on. Come over here, Watson.
tell me, is it...
You coming, dearie?
I don't know where I'm meant to go. I thought Lucy would be in her window. Maybe she's in the brothel? Oh, I thought I clicked on her. Okay, I'm going for a walk. Where am I going? Watson? Oh, okay.
Tell me, you little scamp. Do you know the owner of a butcher's shop or a slaughterhouse where pigs are killed? There's a coin in it for you.
No, sir, but for a coin, I'll tell you this. Ask Miss Bella's gals. They have to deal with a whole bunch of pig-headed oafs every day.
Hey, that, you know, that's a good line, kid. That's fair. Oh, don't hold the knife like that, Watson. Maybe I just have to go to the brothel. You little scamp. Little rapscallion. Ah!
Good evening, Lucy. But is something wrong?
Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Oh, the sick guy.
It's my uncle. He's no longer with us.
Please accept my condolences, miss.
Thank you, Doctor. But why are you here? Can I help you?
My request may sound rather strange, but do you know if there is a butcher's or slaughterhouse in the area where pigs are killed?
Yes, Fletcher's the man. He was a regular client, owner of a little butcher's shop not far. But Miss Bella didn't want him to come, as long as he didn't treat his awful sickness.
Can you point to his shop on my map?
Certainly.
Good old Lucy. Now it explains why the kid was like, go and ask them, haha, he was making a joke. But I actually did get the info from the ladies at the brothel.
Do you know anything about the 2 latest murders?
Oh, goodness me, no. All the girls in the neighbourhood are terrified. Who will be next? That's what everyone is asking.
Understandable. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Lucy.
Until next time, perhaps, Doctor.
Right. Ugh, what's that noise? You just cough on me. If anyone knew the town. Yeah, exactly. If they know the tea, it's the brothel workers. Actually, so that was actually pretty good. That it was a joke, but it also actually led me to the right place. I wasn't even meaning to ask him. I just clicked on the speech bubble that it gave me.
Ah, there's Fletcher's butcher shop.
It's closed.
Closed due to illness.
Oh, God.
If the proprietor is ill, the butcher's block is probably not being used. Perhaps I can use it. Now, where could a sick butcher have got to?
I assumed I was going to have to go and heal him because, you know, I am Dr. Watson. But, maybe not. Hello, do you know where the butcher's gone?
No, it would be better not to insist.
Never mind. Oh, he's probably gone to the clinic. He's probably gone somewhere to heal himself. Or be healed, I suppose. He doesn't know.
Yes, if Fletcher is...
Yeah. It wouldn't let me go in. Hello, sir.
Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Good evening, Dr. Gibbons.
I don't like this
I have
guy.
come to see you because I was wondering if, by any chance, you happen to have a patient by the name of Fletcher, a butcher who would have relinquished his shop due to illness. An illness caught during nocturnal encounters, if you catch my drift.
Fletcher is one of the regulars at the clinic. Mercury treatment against syphilis. A night with Venus, a lifetime with Mercury. He left London a fortnight ago for the fresh country air. Why is he of interest to you?
Oh, no reason. I'm more interested in using his shop, only for an hour or so.
He's going to cut the heads
Would he have
off.
left his keys with family in the area?
Where's he going
He
to get
has none
pigs?
left, but he must have left Hardiman, the cat's meat seller, to oversee his shop. They're in business. They're good friends.
Do you know where he can be found?
No, but wander around the neighbourhood and listen for his beep beeps. He often passes in front of the clinic. Besides...
It's him! Come on. It's beep beep guy. You gotta do the beep beep. Oh, man. Do I have a cooldown on the beep beep?
Beep beep.
There we go. Thank you. Correct. Let's see if he says it again. Let's go. Can't hear him. Chat, we can't hear the beep beep man. Oh, it's the woman who hates cats. I wonder if she's scaring him off.
It's me that you're looking for, sweetheart.
It's in cooldown. I'll probably change that. I'm gonna fix that. We gotta have the beep beep.
Beep beep.
There we go. Thank you. There you go. Cooldown is off. Can we just do it?
Beep beep.
Good. I was just checking it still worked.
Actually, no. I am looking for the cat food seller, Hardiman.
Hardiman? Poor Hardiman. It isn't quitting time for him yet. That gives me
Beep, beep.
some time to wander the streets before he shows up, and with him all the cats hereabouts.
Beep beep.
Oh no! What have I done? Why did I unlock it?
Do you know where he lives?
Sure. And for a copper, I might even tell you.
Here are a few coins.
You're too kind, Governor. Well, these days, I knows that he lives with his mammy on Hanbury Street, in the same place where Dark Annie bled to death.
Minute behind on the Xbox. Me, you're looking for a sweetheart. Wait, you're not Lionel Richie. No, no, I don't think I'm looking for you at all. Thick inside.
Why did you call him poor Hardiman?
Bah, he's in grieving, of course.
Oh no!
Just a few weeks ago, he lost his wife. And 3 months before that, his girl, poor fella. He was in tatters. Even came to cry on my shoulder, believe it or not.
Well, I must leave you. I must go to Hanbury Street.
Do I have Hanbury Street marked? I don't know which one's Hanbury Street. This is Whitechapel. Oh wait, one of the bodies was found there. Surely I will have it. Ah! Hanbury Street.
This is the building in which poor Annie Chapman was killed. Beep beep.
It's exactly the same sound clip. Here he is. It's the beep beep man. Found him. Poor
Beep,
guy.
beep.
That's a different beep.
Hello, are you Mr. Hardiman?
That's me.
Beep beep. Beep beep. Beep beep.
Thank you, chat. Oh my god. This convention I'm going as Dr. Watson with a huge scroll in an hour where I point to various topics before I start beeping to people. You have to take a knife.
Beep beep.
Oh god. Because the cursor is a knife. One for the road. It is for the road. Beep beep.
I am Dr. Watson. I have come to see you about Fletcher's shop. I would like to use it for an hour or two, if you have the keys and your rates are reasonable.
Do you want to operate on someone in the butcher's?
Not at all. One of my friends needs it to prepare pig's heads.
Well, why not? Fletcher certainly wouldn't mind, but there's a problem.
I left the keys in one of the meat kebabs.
A problem? How so?
This morning, the neighbour above broke his key in the door. The old boy must have already had a drink.
So?
Well, I tried my best to unjam it with Fletcher's spare key, which is pretty thin, and bam, that one broke too.
Hard luck. But if you have the end of the broken key, perhaps it can be fixed.
It must still be upstairs. I didn't pick it up. Fletcher has a key too, so I didn't think it was a problem. Fancy if I just had another key with a simpler blade, I could copy it. I'm great at odd jobs.
Fine, I will try to find all of that.
I'm so sorry for him. His voice is so sad now he stopped saying beep beep. Like the first time he spoke to me, he was fine, and then his voice went really quiet, sad. Oh, I don't like it. Can't get over what's going on with Hardiman's hat. It's like half a size too small for his head. It's just like balanced on the top. It's like he's like really intensely pinned it into his hair. That's so good.
Well, see you later then. Goodbye, sir.
He just wants to beep. Does he start beeping again if I walk away? Oh. Hello.
Need a tea or coffee or anything?
I wouldn't mind another coffee.
I'm coffee.
Thank you.
Maybe.
I will say it preemptively. Chat says hello.
Hello.
They always say hello by the time you've left. So.
Yeah, just too fast. Just too cool for school.
It's too quick. Thank you. Okay. Right, did you say I had it marked on my map? I have Hanbury Street. I don't know where on Hanbury Street. Aha, presumably this one. Cat's meats, there we go. Don't call it cat meat. That's confusing. Misleading. Oh god, I can't see a thing. Ah, I'm an ordinary Scotsman. I see, I see.
This key was left inadvertently. Indeed, there is nothing terribly precious inside. But what a stench.
Oh, it's an outhouse. I was like, is there something stinky in the shed? It's an outhouse, that's why. So he said the man upstairs... I can't see a bloody thing. I'm gonna have to look through this screen. It's too bright in here. I think my camera's too bright. I think I need to turn my brightness down. Actually, no, I think it's fine. I think the background's just a bit overwhelmingly bright. There's stairs. Aha. Look at that. I said stairs and stairs appeared. See a bloody thing. Okay, good third person. Maybe that's helpful. Oh, it's not. It's not at all helpful.
Huh. Oh, no. But what a... Ah, how dreadful. I found it.
Oh my god, are these just organs? Oh no, these are just meat kebabs.
My word. These are innards.
Yeah, well, they're not necessarily human innards.
This bag contains butcher's equipment. Kebabs, the same as Hardiman's. So he prepares his meat here.
Oh god, what if it's Hardiman? What if he's the murderer? I mean, I don't know why he would not just take all the meat if it was him. Maybe I should go and ask him? Like, hey, you got a big bag of intestines. What's going on with that, buddy?
Have you found everything I need to remake the key? There you go. I think you'll manage with all of this.
I'm gonna ask, okay.
I'm sure I will, sir. It won't take me long. Say, I think there's some of your business upstairs. Oh, you're right. I ain't had the time to sort it out. Sometimes I'm in such a hurry to prepare my meat that I forget to clean up. But why do it in the stairwell? Offal bleeds bucket loads, they do, as you've seen. Now, why would I do that in my own lodgings? Ah, of course. But what about your poor neighbours? They owe it to me, all the times I've helped them out. And I don't have a shop either.
Maybe do it in the butcher's that you have the key to? Just a thought?
Say, you sell animal meat, isn't that right? Would you know where I could find a dozen small pig's heads? The guy who gets me my offal should have some. I'll pay your day's wages if you meet me at Fletcher's butcher shop in 2 hours with the pig's heads. Here's a little advance. I'll do my best, Doctor. The caretaker of another building told us that the place where your mother lives has a reputation for facilitating
I don't remember this at all.
activities. Is that true? Sure, the doors are never closed. They come through here like it's Paddington Station. By the way, I heard about your loss. My condolences. Ta, sir. I saw them die slow deaths. My little girl, her face was eaten by the disease. Thank you, my friend, and please forgive me for bringing up such painful memories.
go. I must do my rounds. And I will
Beep,
look
beep.
for what you've
No,
asked for.
don't beep
As for
beep.
me, I will go and find Holmes, and we will go to the butcher's together.
Don't
Let's return to Fletcher's butcher shop.
beep beep that poor man.
Your heads are on the block inside. Say, you wouldn't be the same chap
Oh, right.
who bought my whole load the other day.
Pig's
It's
heads.
possible, but if you want to continue to do business together, you mustn't speak of my presence in the area to anyone.
Don't worry, my lord. I'll be as quiet as a church mouse.
I thought he meant like they were in trouble, that their heads were on the chopping block. Pig's heads, actual heads. So the guy looks like one of those paintings of a sad clown. He does a bit. He does look like a Piro. Is that how you pronounce it? Oh, Jesus Christ, Watson! You're not supposed to be doing that in this game. Don't frighten me like that. For God's sake. Oh boy. Right. Okay, where's the door? There it is. Can't see a blooming thing. Let's do it.
Holmes, will you explain the reason and rhyme behind this masquerade?
Elementary. We shall conduct an experiment that will allow us to answer a simple question. Does the type of weapon used by the killer correspond to a specific profession?
Oh, I feel so sanitary in here. I feel so safe. I definitely want to eat food made in this butcher shop.
There is nothing further to find in this room, Watson. However, this wheel is broken and prevents the door from sliding. And here are our sow's heads. Congratulations, Watson.
You're welcome, Holmes, but what do you really want to do? Take up a collection?
I don't want to be here. Piero, I think. Okay, Piero. Piero. Doesn't matter what incarnation of him it is. Watson's gonna Watson. As long as he doesn't sink through the floor.
There is nothing further to find.
Oh, okay, fine. I see. So there's a problem because the wheel won't move.
I need something.
Rope? No. Oh, the flies have all died. That's probably not a good sign. Okay, we're gonna go into third person. What was that for, buddy?
What do you think, Holmes?
I don't know. You're the one staring at me. Nope.
I need more information.
So the door...
There is nothing further to find in this room, Watson. However, I need some knives. Our only hope is behind this door.
Poirot. I only know I was behind the door. But I can't get through the door.
I need something.
Wait, can I use my knife? Oh, I can use my knife.
This wheel is broken and prevents the door from sliding.
Yes, I know. I want to replace it with the wheel I just picked up.
This wheel is broken and...
Yes, I know.
This wheel is broken and prevents the door... There. This door is slightly raised.
Now I can open the door.
There is nothing further to find in...
Now, take the wheel off. Put the good wheel back on. And unhook the hook.
Elementary.
Right.
While I
didn't need to
prepare
unhook the
our
hook.
experiment, could you find me 2 knives? A small one, somewhat larger than a pocket knife, with a large, sharp blade. We'll need it to separate the bones and to cut through the thick skins. Then find me a long knife that's at least 13 inches long, no shorter, that's sharp and has a thick
You
blade.
do it.
Fine, Holmes, but I'd like to tell you about Hardiman. Do you know that he prepares his kebabs himself, and...
That he owns butcher's tools and uses offal? That's obvious, Watson. Pray, take my magnifying glass and my rule and get started, Watson. Find me these 2 knives.
Can't you do this part? Why do... Guess you all need... Everyone needs a Dr. Watson to do all of the disgusting work that you don't want to do. I mean, I guess he's going to do the actual cutting, presumably.
Thanks to the magnifying glass, I can find a small knife that matches Holmes's description.
I can't remember what his description was. Short one. One small, somewhat larger than a pocket knife with a large, sharp blade. Well, my thought was this one. I don't know if that's particularly large as a blade, or is it maybe this one? That one's pretty small, lengthwise. And then
With
one...
the rule, I must find...
I need to start a bit higher. Okay, it's not that one. Ah, it's this one.
Size?
I might just go and stab Holmes right now. So I take out the knives. I'm like, I found you your knives.
Here are your knives, Holmes.
No, Watson.
Okay, clearly I got the short one wrong. Can I put it back? Ah, I can't put it back. Okay. Somewhat larger than a pocket knife with a large, sharp blade. See, I assumed it was this one initially, but that doesn't really have a large blade. So maybe it's this one? Can I just pick up both?
No, Holmes only needs 2 knives.
Right, well then in that case, I'm going to go for my first choice, which was that one. Because that looks like it's just bigger than a pocket knife. Maybe I should measure it. Hold on. I don't know how big a pocket knife is. Nope. About 6 inches. At least that's what it looked like. Irving Watson again? I was away to the loo for a moment. What happens? Home get all upset because this knife wasn't stabby enough? No, he sent Watson into the back room to get the knives, and then stood there doing nothing. Typical Holmes. So I've decided that I'm going to stab Holmes.
Here are your knives, Holmes.
No, Watson.
He also only says that if I get it wrong. In that case, it might be this one. If it's not that one, I'm going to be very surprised. Because I'm pretty sure I got the big knife right. There we go.
Here are the knives you asked for. Be careful, they're awfully sharp. Holmes, I must say that this experiment is making me rather uneasy, comparing animal heads to these poor women.
You're right, Watson, but this somewhat shocking experiment may help to end this massacre and save other victims, you can be sure of that. Look, these pigs' heads are still bloody, which will suit our experiment perfectly. I have a pocket knife and a scalpel with me. With the 2 knives you just brought me, we have a similar array of weapons as those probably used by the killer.
What's your proof?
3 types of throat wounds on the deceased attributed to this man. Those intended to slit the throat, those intended to decapitate, and the more superficial yet mortal wound that led to the death of the unfortunate victim in Dutfield's yard, Miss Stride. With the help of these 4 knives, we are going to try to recreate these wounds on the pigs' heads and see what we can establish about the weapon or weapons used. We may also be able to rule out Miss Stride as a victim of the killer of the other 3.
Got that? Hope you were listening, chat. Oh, is this going to be one of those... You can like rule them out by using a certain combination? Can I select the right knife or knives? Wait, how do I... What? Oh, it was a question mark. the help of your 4 knives, try to reproduce on the 3 pigs' heads the runes indicated by Sherlock Holmes and determine which type of weapons were used by Jack the Ripper. Click on the pig's head to get a close-up image. Once you've selected 1 or more knives for each wound, select 1 or more knives and place it in the crime weapon section. How do I get a close-up? Oh, I clicked the top.
Let's try to decapitate our victim with these tools, knowing that the killer didn't quite manage to do it.
Charming.
Oh, I don't like that. Okay, I didn't do that very well. This is quite difficult. It's a lot more difficult. You can't tell where the pointer is. Oops.
This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh, but cannot dislocate the vertebrae.
That's awful. Okay, this one then. Oh god, I hate this so much. It's got the worst sound effects. Oh god. I'm having a visceral reaction. Like I can feel it in my chest. It's oh, I hate this bit. Okay. I don't know. Do I have to go all the way across?
Look, Watson, this little knife with a wide base can easily slice the vertebrae of our porcine friend.
Good. But the killer didn't manage to. Does that mean it's the wrong knife?
The blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach the vertebrae.
And there's no way he'd use a scalpel to try and decapitate somebody, so it must be the top one then. Or maybe it's important to note.
With a scalpel, the wound is too shallow.
So maybe he didn't manage to, though. So does that mean that he didn't use the good knife? Wait. I'm confused. What? I thought it said I could drag them in. Oh, do I have to do it in there?
Let's try to decapitate.
Charming.
Let's try to decapitate our victim with these tools.
PG for
knowing
pig
that
gore.
The killer didn't quite manage to do it.
PG-13. Charming. He didn't manage it, so it's not the little knife. It's the big knife.
Let's try to use these weapons on this head to obtain a large deep wound to the throat, like those that were noted on 3 of the 4 victims. Look, Watson, this knife easily penetrates the flesh.
Yes. Does that mean it's the right one? Stabby, stabby.
This little knife is very sharp and has a very wide blade. This pocket knife is very sharp, but its blade is too thin. The wound is too shallow. Let's see if these knives can inflict a mortal wound in a situation where a single quick blow is given. The scenario in question is that of Dutfield's yard.
That's one of the ones that I read out, rather than the ones we've actually been to.
Look, Watson, the blade sinks easily into the flesh.
Stop saying that! You sound like a murderer. It's freaky.
It cuts through the flesh.
Yeah, but that doesn't tell me if it's a killing blow.
In using the cutting edge of this pocket knife, this particularly sharp blade can...
Okay. I think it must be this one then?
It cuts through the flesh easily.
Beep beep.
Select the right knives or knives.
Let's try to use these weapons on...
Is he just here, the beep beep guy? Oh, once you've selected 1 or several knives for each wound, select 1 or more knives and place them in the crime weapon. I can't! It won't let me! Nothing's happening if I click them.
Let's see if these knives can...
Does that mean I got this wrong? Oh, I reset it.
Let's see if these knives can... Let's see if these knives can inflict a mortal wound in a situation where... It cuts through the flesh
Yes,
easily.
that doesn't tell me anything, though. You're not helping. I think it's these two. Do I have to get it right before I can...
Let's try to decapitate our victim.
Charming.
Is it?
Let's try to decapitate...
Charming.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I'm getting cross about it. Because... I mean, it's told me what I'm supposed to do, but it says I can pick them up and put them in the box and be like, it's this knife. But it's not working. Like, I physically can't pick it up. So do I need to be right before I can do it?
Let's try to use these... Let's try to use these weapons.
I'm pretty sure that this one was the...
Let's try to
Shut
use
up.
these weapons.
Thank you for the hint coin. Yeah, I might have to look it up.
Let's try to decapitate...
Charming.
Oh no, this is the one that I think is the big knife, because they didn't manage to decapitate them.
Let's try to use these weapons. This little knife is very sharp and has a very wide blade.
Large, deep wound.
Look, Watson, this knife...
It's not helpful.
Look, Watson, this
That
knife...
doesn't tell me anything. Like, I'm looking for a large, deep wound, going, oh, look, it cuts through the skin really well. Doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me if it's a deep wound, because it could be like a scalpel where it's really sharp, but it doesn't necessarily actually go very deep, because the blade's not very big. And if all I'm going for is how deep the blade goes, then surely all I need to do is look at the size of the knives. So clearly there's something else to it. But I can't pick these up. Okay, I'm gonna find that guide I was looking at earlier. I'm just gonna look this up. I'm gonna use my hint coin. If I find it, just give me a second. The answer, I mean, not the hint coin. Would you like a hint without looking it up? If you have the time to give me one, that would be great. But yeah, I can just look it up if not. I have a whole list of Sherlock Holmes games to play, and they just get older. I have some more ones. I think there's a couple that are more recent than this, but the rest are just older ones, and I'm like, oh no. This is just gonna get worse and worse. There's a... I'm gonna take a picture. My B-reel's gone off. I'm gonna take a picture of this. They all need more than one selected. Okay. Well, I had 2 selected for some of them, but I'll go back through them and see what he says about each one. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'll use a hint coin for that. There we go. I need to make a sound effect for using a hint coin. I'm not sure what it would be, like maybe a little coin going in a slot or something. Let's take a B-reel of the pig's head. There we go. Fantastic. Oh yeah, I was gonna look up what the other Sherlock Holmes games. Oh, that's what I was saying. There's Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, which like came out. It's a DOS game, I think. I kind of want to play that on stream, but I'd have to figure out how to do it. Right. They all need more than one selected. Let's stop overwriting that.
Let's try to use these weapons on this head to obtain a large, deep wound to the throat.
Large, deep wound.
This little knife is very sharp and has a very wide blade. This pocket knife is very sharp, but its blade is too thin.
It's not that one. We know it's not that one.
It's too shallow. Look, Watson, this knife easily penetrates the flesh.
At least for the first pig, he seems to say positive things. I'm sure I had that last time. Oh well, that's fine. Whatever.
Let's try to decapitate our victim.
Charming.
Pretty sure it's not the big one. No, not this one, because it would have succeeded.
The blade of this pocket knife is... With a scalpel, the wound is too shallow.
I heard Joe just yell something, but I can't hear what it is.
This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh, but cannot dislocate the vertebrae.
So, I think it's those two, but he didn't manage to dislocate it, so... I don't think it's the top one because he didn't succeed. But you said they all need more than one ticked. I'm hoping it'll just trigger when I get it.
I forgot about your coffee, I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. Is that why you yelled?
Yeah.
Ah, wow, that's a lot of coffee. Thank you. That's a big one.
I'm a dumb idiot, I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. Okay, is that you? No, you're not leaving yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Okay, we'll come pop your head in when you're leaving.
The bus.
Sorry, he's just getting ready to go to work, so he will pop his head back in a second. I was not expecting. I'm not going to finish this coffee today. I'll be bouncing off the walls. I think I had it, but it didn't say elementary. Hold on, let me go through them all again. Maybe I have to slice with them all without resetting. Maybe that's the problem.
Look, Watson, this little knife with a wide... The blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach the vertebrae.
Ignoring the fact that the killer didn't manage to, if I go by my theory from the first pig, which is that he has to say positive things, and that's the clue, we'll go with that. I also think I'm supposed to do it all without resetting before I select it, and that's why.
With a scalpel, the wound is too shallow.
Because if I reset it, then it's like he has to say it all again.
This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh, but cannot dislocate the vertebrae.
Damn, I was wrong. I thought my theory was not necessarily correct.
Elementary.
Okay, so I do have to do it all without resetting, because I definitely ticked all three of those.
Let's see if these knives can inflict a mortal wound in a situation where a single quick blow...
Okay, so... Yep.
Look, Watson, the blade sinks easily into the flesh.
That sounded positive.
In using the cutting edge of this pocket knife...
That's not right. That's because it only scrapes the skin.
This particularly sharp blade can make a deep gash with one quick slice.
Could be that one?
It cuts through the flesh easily as the blade is so sharp. Elementary.
Cool. Cool. So... click on the... when you just selected one or several knives for each wound, select one or more knives and place them in the crime weapon section. All of them. There's only one that's used on each crime. I see. So it's not... which could it be? There's only one that's been used in all three crimes, which is the big boy.
That's it, Watson. The big knife.
The big knife!
With respect to the opinion of the medical examiners who noted that a butcher's knife with a long blade would have caused the eviscerations on some of the victims, we can assume, Watson, that he only used this type of weapon as it is capable of inflicting all of the wounds displayed. Furthermore, the Dutfield's Yard murder remains attributable, for the moment, to the Whitechapel killer, if we are able to explain why the murderer used his knife in a different manner. Why not go there now? We will try to reenact the killer's actions that night. Our first objective will be to clarify one way or another the statements of Constable Smith as well as this Hungarian by the name of Schwartz. We must also try to find out more about the International Working Men's Educational Club. Underneath,
she almost struggled to say there.
Place, perhaps at the Wasp's Nest.
Yes, let's go to Dutfield's Yard or wherever, but quickly. I am in urgent need of fresh air.
Stinks of pigs in here.
Let's go to the Wasp's Nest.
Okay. Before we go to the Wasp's Nest, I'm going to take a quick break so I can say goodbye to Joe and get myself some food. I hopefully won't be very long, but I am going to go right now. I'll turn fishing on once I've said goodbye to Joe. So for the time being, we will just have a normal break, and you'll get the fishing when I get back. So sorry to be so sudden, but I want to go say goodbye to him before he leaves. Be back soon. Bye-bye. You fools. Alright, there you go. I'm back. Hello. Hello, welcome back. Objection! There we go, okay. Well, that was just delayed. I thought it would, I didn't think it would come through. What am I doing? We are here. I've had a break, and during the break, I realized quite how tired I was, and I seem to be very slowly falling asleep. So we're gonna hopefully do some crime solving, have some more coffee, and we'll feel a little bit better. Though it is later than I normally take a break, so maybe that's why I feel so different. I'm going to take a break within the first 2 hours, and it's like, I've been live for 3 now. 3.5. He literally just said where I need to go. We're going outside. We need to go to Dutfield's Yard. And work out something, but I can't remember what he said. Is Dutfield's Yard in here? Hold on. We must try to find out more about this International Working Men's Education Club underneath the Wasp's Nest. You're a wasp's nest. Sorry, I will do that every time. God, it's so bright here. I genuinely thought it was daytime for a second. I was like, time travel? Did we go to sleep?
Don't forget that Bluto may still be hiding here. I will try to find out more inside. You, Watson, must intercept the policeman on his rounds. Given the hour and a bit of luck, it will be Smith. Try to get some information from him.
More coffee needed, I think.
Understood, Holmes.
Oh, I'm playing as Sherlock. Okay. Should I do this one-handed while I drink my coffee?
Hello.
I know you. You're Squibby's guardian angel. You weren't dressed the same last time, but I don't forget a face. No hard feelings, huh?
Oh.
Join me in a glass?
Your Jack the Ripper is on everyone's lips and written in
I thought he was
all
telling
the
me he
papers.
was Jack the Ripper.
You must be awfully proud of yourself. You have skill, that's for certain. It's a shame you use it to mask rather than discover the truth.
You better believe that I'm going to find out who it is. I got a hold of old Schwartz's interpreter. You know, the Hungarian who saw Liz Stride get it.
Yes.
Doesn't speak a word of English. And when he went round to the station, another Jew went along to interpret. I found that bloke, and he repeated everything that had been said at the station. It won't be long before I find these fellows.
Ah.
Why do you say these fellows? Were there several of them?
Do you not read the papers, or what? Well, given the rubbish that you read sometimes. Let me explain. At 12:45 a.m., Schwartz goes down Burner Street towards Fairclough, on the side of the road where the Workers' Club is.
Mm-hmm.
Bit further from there, just near Dutfield Yard's wooden doors,
oh, we saw a cutscene of this.
chap and a lady are arguing. The Star said that the bloke wanted to push the girl into Dutfield's yard, but the translator told me that Schwartz saw him pulling her towards the road. She doesn't want to follow. He grabs her by the shoulders and throws her to the ground. She falls a bit, but not too loudly. Old Schwartz is scared, crosses to the other side, but continues in the same direction. The bloke with the girl notices him and yells, "Lipsky!"
Yeah, this is the bit we saw.
At the same time, another bloke at the corner of Fairclough and Burner who was lighting his pipe gets in on the action. He starts coming towards Schwartz in a menacing way, and Schwartz takes to his heels, doesn't see anything else. Once he finds out that a woman got herself killed, he went to testify and identified Long Liz Stride as the woman he saw getting thrown about. So there were definitely two blokes, mate. But why? Why am I telling you all this?
I got that kind of
Vino
face.
Veritas.
What? What does that mean? Does that mean I've got that kind of face?
I'll take my leave then, Mr. Bulling.
That's right. Till next time.
Okay. Interesting. Is that all I get? Do I talk to you guys?
A draft, my good man.
You're a bit fancy to be in here, aren't you? He looks like Squibby. He's got the same character
Here,
model.
sir.
Tell me, was it not a mere stone's throw away from here that the Whitechapel killer struck last week?
That'd be Jack the Ripper, that's his name. Slit the throat of a working girl in a small courtyard over there behind them big wooden doors.
Below the Workers' Club?
The very spot, below Lipsky and Co. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack was one of them, if you catch my drift.
Lipsky and Company. Do you mean to say that someone called Lipsky runs this club?
Nah, it's just that it's full of Jews. In Whitechapel, we call them all Lipskys, like that Lipsky who killed that girl in Batty Street last year.
Oh, really?
Last year, a Jew named Israel Lipsky killed a lass who was 6 months pregnant by making her drink acid.
Jesus Christ.
One trial and one protest by rabbis later, and he was hanging. By those who don't much like him, the Jews are called Lipskys.
Is the term Lipskys used to refer to the Jews in the area, and is this
Don't
club
like this.
frequented by Jews?
You got it. Socialist Jews, even. They spend their evenings hollering, singing. I've seen them spitting on the bosses.
Damn socialists.
And you know the victim?
No more her than any other. The working girls don't drum up business too much in this street. They need a reason to end up here.
Very well. Goodbye.
Okay.
Cheers.
I've learned a lot. That's good. Good info. Oh, and I'm leaving.
First and foremost, I must find P.C. Smith. Good evening, Constable.
Good evening, sir.
I am Dr. Watson. Would you happen to be P.C. Smith, the man who patrols this beat?
That's me. And you work with the famous Sherlock Holmes, don't you? What can I do for you?
Ew. I was not expecting that voice. It went all over the place, but I think we got through an accent.
I believe you were on duty the night when the murder took place here. You would certainly be able to confirm a few details, such as the time of death that the medical examiner gave.
It's just that I wasn't there when the body was discovered. I don't think I can help you.
I don't think I can help you. He kind of sounds like the guy at the police station. Is it the same guy?
But I was told that you had seen the victim that very night.
Indeed. But it was before the murder. I saw her, not far from here. She was talking to a man. It
Yeah,
was
we're
around
definitely going to have to do a
12:30 or
timeline.
12:35 a.m.
There's definitely a timeline we're going to have to put together.
What did this man look like?
I only saw him from behind, really. He was wearing a short black outfit, a small felt hat like a cap in a dark colour, and a white collar. He seemed to be a respectable type. He was carrying a packet in his hand wrapped in newspaper, about 18 inches long and about 6 inches wide.
His outfit reminds me of someone that I know. Was he a large man, on the older side?
I don't
Quite
think
a big
so, no.
packet.
Even though I only saw him from behind, I would say that he was barely 30 years old, or even less. Say 28, or even less. 26 years old.
Or even
And
less.
5 foot 8 inches tall at the very most. He had a small dark brown moustache and an olive complexion, I would say. But once again, I only caught a brief glimpse of his face in three-quarter profile.
Okay. Who else saw the man except for the woman who was killed, obviously?
Nobody else saw this man?
I discussed this previously with Mr. Eagle, the president of the Workers' Club. That night he returned around 12:40 a.m. to the club. He used the passage through Dutfield's yard to get into the club because the main door was locked. He can attest that he didn't see anyone else in the passage at that time, but wasn't really paying attention to who else might have been in Burner Street itself. He was listening to the song coming from the club. In short, no one else saw him.
Well, thank you for having satisfied my curiosity, my friend.
A fine evening to you, Doctor.
Thank you for giving me way too much information. It's better that way. Because I will find something useful in it, I hope. Oh, am I Sherlock again? Watson, what did you figure out? Let me stab you.
Well, Watson, let's go to Dutfield's yard.
Okay. Oh, I know I should have it. Do I have it? It's nearby. Oh, wait, do I have the club marked? No. I don't know where Dutfield's yard is. Is it over here? Oh, yeah, it's literally right here. I'm an idiot.
Dutfield's yard.
I'm such an idiot. Seen it in the cutscene. I should have guessed. Aha!
Your interrogation of P.C. Smith has proven to be very shrewd and of great interest. Thanks to the information I've managed to gather and that you were able to read in my notes in Baker Street, Watson, we can recreate what happened that fateful night at this location, Dutfield's Yards to be precise, the site of Liz Stride's murder.
There we go. I knew this was coming. I knew we were going to have to do this. Okay. Midnight, the club meeting ends. Well, we know where midnight is. Can I put it... Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Hold on. I can't seem to put it directly on midnight.
Midnight,
there
the
we go.
Socialist Club meeting ends. The members, mainly Jewish men, gradually begin to leave the club in little groups or alone.
12:40.
12:40 a.m., Eagle, the president of the club, enters the workers' club via the passageway through Dutfield's yard. He passed through Dutfield's yard. If Liz Stride had already been killed, he would have had to walk over her. The murder, therefore, had not yet happened.
12:45, he flees.
12:45 a.m., Schwartz runs away, followed for a short distance by this man.
By this man? This man? Why does he say this man? That's a weird way of phrasing it. 12:20, the American goes out for some air. No one is in the street.
12:20 a.m., the American leaves the Socialists' Club for some fresh air. The street is deserted.
Okay. 12:43, as well as Schwartz passes by Dutfield's yard and witnesses the attack.
12:43 a.m., Israel Schwartz passes by Dutfield's yard and witnesses the attack on Liz Stride.
I'm going to stop reading them out because he's just doing all of it for me. Let's go down here. 12:35 to 12:30. Oh, 12:30 to 12:35.
12:30 to 12:35 a.m., Smith notices Liz Stride talking to the man with the package.
There's a gap. I've noticed there's one bit of information.
12:44 a.m., Schwartz crosses to the other side of the road. The attacker sees him and yells, Lipsky. The attacker must have shouted to his accomplice at the end of the road, Lipsky, indicating at Schwartz using his head in an attempt to scare off this undesirable.
So there's a gap here. I'm wondering if there's a piece of information I'm supposed to use. No, there's nothing that says use this information, so not yet, clearly. Oh, damn it! Hold on. No? Deduction? Was that... How do I do this? How do I get back to that?
What shall we do, Holmes?
Oh, how do I get back to my timeline? Where's it gone? Where's my timeline gone? I wasn't done. Ah, there it is. There's a button that says timeline. If I could actually read, it would help.
1 a.m. Mr. Diemschutz wants to enter with his cart, but the pony refuses.
I don't know
we
if...
know that the murder took place between 12:45 and 1 a.m. Mr. Diemschutz, therefore, must have disturbed the killer. Let's place Liz Stride's murder on the timeline, Watson.
When... I don't remember finding that out. Who told me that? Okay, whatever.
12:45 to 1 a.m., the murder of Liz Stride. It took place in this very spot, as the traces of blood were very confined. We will come back to this point in a few moments to elaborate on what could have happened. Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
Where's Watson? There he is. Well, let's have a look at the body
Watson,
then.
Imagine the victim laid down there on the ground.
Oh. She has red ink on her hands. It was
right
her.
Hand. It is bloody, as is her wrist.
Oh. Where does the pony? You know what that looks like? That's like when you type stuff into the text-to-speech on TikTok and it make it go weird. It goes, where does the pony come in? I don't remember anyone telling me about a pony. I don't know if I missed a cutscene or a bit of dialogue or a bit of paper that I didn't read properly, but
Beep.
exactly. I don't remember anyone mentioning a pony.
Her left hand, it is closed around a bag of pastils.
Oh yes, we did know that. I have read this murder. I see. Hello.
The throat, there is but one clean cut, slightly slanted downwards.
Only one cut.
The throat.
Okay, that's just the same thing. Is that everything? No, still, it's not green, which means we've missed something. Bad horse, bad horse, bad horse, he's bad.
The ground is muddy.
Evil League of Evil is watching, so beware. The last we swear, so make the bad horse gleeful, or he'll make you his mare. Still not done. What have I missed? Murder would be nice, of course, bad horse. I think you started me off.
There is but one clean cut, slightly slanted downward.
It's very easy to get me started with that song.
The throat.
Yes, I know. I'm just trying to click everything
Her
now.
left hand, her knees and dress, they are clean.
There we go. I didn't have that before.
Let's look at our deduction board, Watson.
Okay. The knees and the bottom of the dress at the front are clean. The ground is dirty. The victim didn't struggle on the ground. The victim was killed upright, probably. Standing. I'm gonna assume she was standing, because I feel like if she was her throat was being slit while she was on the ground, she would have wriggled. We all have a soft spot for the thorough bread of sin. Don't know if I have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for his song, definitely. Okay. Where the wound to the neck is clean, starting from the right. I mean, both? I don't know. It's her left hand. Because if it's on her right, then it would have been his left hand, presumably. I think the wound's superficial. Just a baby. No. None of those are correct. So the killer doesn't have a height. Okay, I'm guessing some of these. So let's logic this out. I don't know if the wound is superficial. Wait, did you say it's superficial? Does it say it's superficial but it proved to be mortal? Surely that's like a contradiction. Oh no, there's superficial wound or there is only one wound and it proved to be mortal. She didn't have her neck wrung because there were no bruises. One clean cut, slightly slanted downwards. I think that's the only wound we've found. So I think it is one wound that proved to be mortal. It's slightly slanted down, which means he was above her. It means he's taller. But that's not right. So I clearly have got this wrong. Okay, all of those are wrong. Something is wrong here because this is not right. But logically, maybe it's not. Maybe it's the right hand. I'm just guessing all of these now. I think it's the left hand. Murder is weak. Weak man? Maybe strong man? Woman? Okay, none of these have gone green. So these go green when I get them right. And I haven't got any of them right yet. The bloody right hand and wrist, the carotid wasn't slit. Oh, there wasn't only one wound. Because there was a wound on her wrist. Nerd is a lumberjack and they're okay. They sleep all night and they work all day. So I know all of these songs, but I haven't actually seen the things they're from. Like, I've never... No, that's not true. I have watched Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog all the way through, like, once. Bloody right hand and wrist and the carotid wasn't slit. She had her hand cut or she put her hand on her throat. No, because her wrist was... Oh no, it could be she put her hand on her throat. Aha! We got one right. So the blade was thin. So I can't get them right unless I've got all the pieces. Even if I am getting the right answer, I still need to get all the pieces right to get it right. So I know that this one is correct. This is correct. Slightly oblique. What does that mean? What does slightly oblique mean? Does that mean it's... No, I'm thinking of opaque. That's a different word entirely. What does oblique mean? Maybe I do need to do those educational games. I was going to play Layton tomorrow, but maybe I'm going to spend all of tonight trying to work out how to play the game I was talking about earlier. No, I just typed Layton in. No, I need to know what oblique means. Neither parallel nor at right angles to a specified or implied line. Slanting. Slanted. Okay, so it's slanted down, descending on the right side, starting from the right side. Her right side. Or my right side looking at her. In fact, I can check. Her right side. Okay. That's important to note. So it's from her right side and slanted down, which would make me believe that it's coming from his... Wait, hold on. His left, her right, and above. So I feel like that this one's right, that it's the left hand. Like italics or oblique, if I remember right. Ah, yeah. Not straight or indirect. Are you going for an oblique, mate? Someone's going to the toilet. You going for a slash? Disgusting. Left hand. It proved to be mortal. Hold on. Hey, my chest didn't hurt when I sneezed. Earlier on, I couldn't sneeze because my chest was too sore. It didn't hurt that time. It might be getting better. I think maybe I've just pulled a muscle. Yeah, hopefully it's just a muscle. It's not over my heart, otherwise I would be very worried. Don't worry. It's to the side. So there is one wound that appears to be mortal. But I believe they struck it from above. Maybe it struck it from his height? Must be left-handed or could be ambidextrous. This is the only thing that's going in here, so maybe it's... Oh! It is right-handed. Wait. I guess you would, like, maybe slash across. Right? I guess that could make sense. Yeah, you'd slash across. Okay. So I still think it's from above. But these are right now. So he's right-handed and he's strong. Because he only needed to do one blow to kill her. The knees and the bottom of the rest are clean and the ground is dirty, which means the victim didn't struggle on the ground. or was careful, which could be the case, which means that she was killed. If she was careful, she was killed lying down, and they were lying down together. However, I think she didn't struggle. She was killed upright, which means that they were upright at the moment of the mortal blow. Oh, doesn't seem to work either. But she would have fallen forwards if she'd had her back to the killer. Right? I guess maybe not. Maybe he came up behind her and then dropped her to the floor. That could have happened. Let's try that then. No, that's not right either. Unless it wasn't from above. No, okay. None of these are right. We know that the killing blow was definitely her neck wound because she has no other wounds and she doesn't have any bruising, which means she wasn't strangled like the other victims. So I'm pretty confident this is right. And I think oh, you know what? I didn't change this after I changed these. Okay, let's try. She had her back to the killer. She was upright. And that he's approximately the same height or shorter. No, okay, that's not right. I'm just guessing at this point. The victim didn't struggle on the ground. I still think that's true. It could be the victim was careful. Victim didn't struggle on the ground. She was killed upright. And they were standing at the moment of the mortal blow. And the murderer struck from his height or above? Oh, his height.
We have
there
two
we go.
possibilities. The first is that Liz Stride's killer and the attacker, seen by Schwartz, were one and the same man. The second is that Liz Stride meets a client. After some discussion, they head towards Dutfield's yard to do their business. As soon as they arrive, the attacker appears while his accomplice keeps watch. Schwartz's arrival dissuades the two men from lingering. They leave the area and leave Liz Stride in a tense state, but glad to have kept her client. He will be her murderer. Both hypotheses are possible, but an incongruous detail will serve to corroborate one of them. An incongruous detail that we were able to establish regarding the Hanbury Street murder. Which one would that be, Watson? Look at the victim carefully, Watson, and tell me the link between the murder of Liz Stride and those of Nichols and Chapman. No, that's not it.
Sorry, I thought I was something. I don't remember the other two murders. Which ones were those? Between the murders of Nichols. Left-handed person. He's right-handed.
No.
The bag of pastels, Holmes.
The bag of pastels, indeed.
Oh, good.
Watson.
That was a guess.
If this woman had to defend herself against an attacker, why would she have held onto this bag in her hand? It didn't fall because this woman's hand tensed at the moment when she fell to the ground. Therefore, Watson, we know the killer distracted his victim's attention by making them take something out of their pockets. Why didn't he slit her throat like the others? He must have feared a struggle with this strong-willed woman. Why didn't he eviscerate her? Because Louis Diemschutz arrived.
Do you think the Whitechapel killer is behind this murder, Holmes?
Yes, and now this murder has been linked to its rightful perpetrator, it will take on deeper meaning when we have examined the facts from that night. Let's go to Mitre Square, where Catherine Eddowes was killed. And make haste, Watson, as we have another murder to commit in 40 minutes.
Don't phrase it like that. Don't phrase it like that.
Here we are, Watson, Mitre Square. It took us a mere 20 minutes to get here. If the killer left Dutfield's yard around 1 o'clock, as we assume, he would have arrived here at around 1:20 a.m. We know that Catherine Eddowes' body was discovered at 1:44 a.m. Catherine was released from prison around 1 o'clock, but we have no information as to what she could have been doing until her death. This place has 3 possible ways out. Let's see where they lead. As a precaution, I brought an old map of the area with me. It will help us get our bearings.
Let's hurry, Holmes. This neighborhood makes me ill at ease.
Hold on, I heard a noise. Give me a second. Someone's staying with us, so I was like organizing when they're gonna get here and stuff. Anyway, back to the game. Oh, this is an old map. So, Synagogue, Mitre Square, Imperial Club. Is that the club? Is that the club they were talking about? Yes, Watson has another murder to commit. A bother murder. We have another murder to commit, don't we, John? Don't we, John? We have to go commit a murder. Yes. Okay. I have a box of matches? Where did that come from? You want some matches?
We must, first and foremost, locate the 3 exits leading to Mitre Square, Watson.
Ah, thanks for telling me. That's very helpful of you. This is Mitre Square. There's 1, 2, 3. Am I on Mitre Street right now? Mitre Square. There we go. I found one.
This is Mitre Street, from where Watkins, the constable who found the body, came. I have no reason to go that way.
Oh, is this the square? This is the square. I see. Okay. I understand now. Elementary Holmes. It's been me the whole time. You really couldn't see that it was me this entire time, Holmes? Call yourself the best detective.
Church Passage. It must be opposite the Imperial Club at 16 to 17 Duke Street. Let's go to the end of this lane, Watson.
Couldn't even tell that would faded out there for a second. Hey, that's our friend, isn't it?
Hello, you must be Abraham Solomonovich, am I right?
Wow.
Yes,
good job with
that's
that
me.
name.
But I know you. You brought a lad to my place to take care of a cat, and I loaned you my mask.
That's me. May I present?
Dr. Watson, of course. Delighted. And you...
He's not very good at having
known for
disguises,
a
is
few
he?
days that you are a detective by the name of Sherlock Holmes. Is that so?
You don't miss a thing, do you? It was the children who gave me away. Am I right?
They didn't want to, but I gained their confidence by
Wow.
offering them a small comb and half a cake.
They made a good deal out of it, so I don't blame them.
Oh,
However,
cute.
I must request, as a personal favour, that you do not reveal my identity.
You have my
Watson
word.
tells everybody who you are.
Curiosity is just killing me, as you may have guessed. Would it be breaking an oath to confide in me the nature of the investigation that you are leading?
Watson tells literally everybody you meet that you are Sherlock Holmes. Like, he doesn't hide it. He goes, I am Dr. Watson, and this is Sherlock Holmes, the great detective who's definitely investigating Jack the Ripper, and just like shouting it to people. Watson is my hype guy.
Does this spot where we are now in Mitre Square mean anything to you?
A demon lives in this city, Mr. Holmes. These unmentionable acts degrade the human race and put the Jewish community in terrible danger.
Lots of rumours are circulating, but they are but rumours. I see you're leaving the Imperial Club. It's a stone's throw away from Mitre Square, and the 2 recent murders were most probably discussed in there. Do you know if anyone from the club saw or heard anything that night?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. That night, 3 members of our club saw a woman talking to a man at the very spot where we are standing, a few minutes before the body was found, at the end of this passage. Fantastic, Holmes.
Calm yourself, Watson. There is nothing at the moment to suggest it was the victim. Can we meet these members?
I am afraid that won't be possible. As soon as the police heard the evidence of these men, they were sworn to silence.
So funny.
I understand.
But you are working for the good, and I must tell you what I know. One of the 3 men, my friend Joseph, left that night with 2 other members of the Imperial Club, Harry and another Joseph. It was around 1:35 a.m., perhaps a bit earlier. When Joseph, not my friend, but the other, the Aldgate butcher, exited, he saw a man and a woman in discussion at this very spot where we are.
These men must have been about 16 feet away from the couple.
That's about right. So Joseph, the butcher, said to the other 2, while pointing at the couple, "Look, I don't like going home alone when I see this kind of people here." My friend Joseph looked at them without noticing anything strange and didn't understand what he meant. They had the look of 2 rather unkempt people, but no more than that.
Also, that was so much dialogue. I was going to react to Doctor, Serial Killer, and Killer MC. He's a killer on the microphone, and also in the streets of London. Please lock him up. Dr. Watson is Jack the Ripper.
After the murder, did these 3 men tell the police what they had seen?
Not quite. Harry stated that he hadn't seen the couple. As for Joseph, the butcher, even though he was the one who commented on them and pointed them out, said that he couldn't remember anything except that the man was about 3 inches taller than the woman, who was 5 feet tall, no more. My friend Joseph, on the other hand, did his best to cooperate with the police.
Sorry, I was getting comfy in my seat, and ended up almost pulling my headphones off my head again. J'accuse, Dr. Acula. J'accuse.
And what did your friend Joseph say? What did this man and woman look like?
The man must have been 30 years old, about 5'7", light complexion, and a fair moustache.
Good moustache on that man.
A loose, dark jacket, a grey cap, and a red scarf around his neck. But he said that he only saw him for a brief instant, and it would be impossible to recognize him.
And the woman?
He only saw her from behind. She had her hand on the man's stomach and seemed to be pushing him. He said that he remembered that she was small, was wearing a black jacket and a black bonnet.
Point.
After his testimony, the police took him to see the clothing of the deceased, and Joseph said that they looked identical to those of the woman he had seen. Like I already said, he only glanced at the 2, as he was headed with the others in the direction of Aldgate.
Wow, there's a lot of details.
The Imperial Club is a Jewish club, isn't that correct?
Indeed.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Solomonovich.
Bah, it was nothing. We must at all cost prevent this demon from striking again, and the police seem to have some difficulty in doing that. I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, I assumed he would say something now. But he's not going to say anything else. Okay. It was 5 spans, 2 cubits. The great city of London. It's okay. I think my mum showed me a book that her granny, so my great-grandmother had in school, and it had all of the old measurements. It was basically like a little cheat sheet book of all the different measurements and, like, you know, conversions and stuff. And some of them were just like, but that's just confusing. Like, the different types of miles. Obviously, it's mostly it's standardized now, but it was like, you know, a mile in England is technically different from a mile in Scotland and just stuff like that. And it was like, this is just ridiculous. But, you know, that's what happens when you don't have standardized teaching and all that kind of thing. Everybody's got their own ideas, which is fine when everything's a little community. But, you know, the world doesn't work like that anymore.
Closed.
Closed! Oh god, hello.
We must, first and foremost, locate the 3 exits leading to Mitre Square, Watson.
Well, we found one of them. Is this the other one?
This dark and narrow passage leads to St. James's Place. Well, let's find the spot where Edow's body was discovered. Nothing of interest here.
I went too far. Where was his body discovered? A body.
I had no reason to go that way.
Interrupted me. A body has been discovered. Maybe one day I'll go back to that game, or I'll just play it on my own. Is that why I needed my matches?
Take the lantern, Watson.
Oh, Watson, you're glowing. Oh, I can actually see. This is great. Come over here, Watson. Bring the lantern. Fantastic.
Watson, we are now in the exact spot where poor Eddowes tragically ended her days.
Oh, I guess it was probably marked on the map.
This spot is very dark, Holmes.
That is probably why our murderer chose it.
You just put a little candle in the corner, you know? Make it brighter.
The head is turned towards the left. The murderer must have been on the right side of his victim. Let's look at her from the front.
Good lord. Oh my god. Sorry, everybody. That's horrific. I'm gonna get TOS'd for this.
The eyelids were cut off.
Oh, I need a minute. Oh god. Ooh, that's made me feel quite unwell. Ooh. Okay, I'm making a note to add gore to the content warnings for this episode on YouTube. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's awful. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna try and get this over with so we don't have to look at it for too much longer.
The nose was cut.
Okay.
There is but one wound, Watson. It goes from the left side and descends in a slight oblique towards the right side.
Like the last one. We're not gonna mention this... the entrails that are...
The nose was cut.
Yes, the intestines that are just, you know, hanging out.
Part of this apron is missing. We will follow up on that shortly. Do these objects spread out by the victim remind us of anything, Watson? A thimble is located right beside one of the victim's hands, just like Chapman's sachet of pills and Stride's pastils. The main incision goes from the sternum all the way down to the groin. The murderer opened this abdomen as if it were an animal carcass. A kidney was removed. The uterus was removed. These intestines were pulled out altogether to grant access to the abdomen. The inside of the thighs is clean. Once again, there were no sexual relations between the victim and her murderer. The head is turned towards the left.
I'm going to click on everything because it says I've missed something.
There is but one wound. The cheeks were slashed.
Ah, the cheeks were slashed. I didn't have the cheeks were slashed before. There we go. Okay.
My goodness, Holmes, it was a slaughter.
Understand, Watson, that our killer had neither the time nor the conditions to bother with the niceties. He had no more than 7 or 8 minutes at most to kill the woman, open her up,
oh, poor
and
guy.
all the while in total darkness.
Holmes, it's a woman.
Thank you.
A poor victim you're talking about.
Thank you.
Consider all the time this man lost and the risks that he actually took by cutting the victim's face and the lower abdomen in around 20 precise spots, especially the lungs and the liver. These attacks, which I considered gratuitous, are in fact nothing of the sort, and have as much sense as the removal of the organs. Watson, we must now consult our timeline. We began in Dutfield's yard, but this time we will try to recreate the actions of certain people, in this case, those of the 2 policemen.
Okay. I was going to stop and finish this later, but I think... Oh! That was weird. I just hit a button on my stream deck, but it didn't actually do anything, so it was okay. I was going to stop there because, Jesus, that was so gory and horrible, but we've got a little bit more time on stream. I think we'll maybe stream for like another 10, 15 minutes, and then I'll probably wrap things up. So maybe we'll do the timeline, and then probably have a cutscene, and then we'll stop after the cutscene. I don't know why, I keep thinking it's almost at the end, just with the way they're talking, and then, nope, another murder. Okay. 1:30 a.m.
1:30 a.m. P.C. Watkins didn't see the corpse while on his rounds. If P.C. Watkins did his rounds properly, and there is no reason to doubt this was the case, as he discovered the corpse a quarter of an hour later, the murder hadn't yet taken place, and there was no one in Mitre Square, unless they were hidden among the shadows. Enter Mitre Square via Mitre Street, Watson, and stop and try to see me with the lantern. I will be where poor Edow's corpse was.
I have the lantern. Ah, there we go. That's quite cool. I didn't think it would bother. Hello.
I see you, Holmes.
Perfect, Watson. Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
$1:42.
1:42 a.m. P.C. Harvey arrives in Mitre Square. It should be noted, Watson, that the constable didn't enter Mitre Square. He could not have seen the corpse lying on the ground. But would he have been able to see a man sitting or standing? Go to the church passage entrance, then come back and try to see me while holding your lantern. I will stay at the spot where the victim was discovered.
Is this the church street entrance? I think it is. Church passage entrance. Pretty sure it's this corner, right? No, it's not. Ah, it's over there. Okay.
I see you, Holmes.
I wonder if I'm just supposed to
You
get
had
near him.
proceed into the square in order to see me, something Harvey didn't do. It is possible that the killer was still there. 1:42 a.m. P.C. Harvey arrives at Mitre Square, but does not...
Yes, thank you. You said that bit. 1:44, the body... A body has been discovered. Sorry, that was so weird. Every time a body is discovered as a phrase comes up, I always do that, and it's very strange, and I should stop. A man and woman are in discussion in the entrance of church passage.
1:35 a.m. A man and a woman are arguing at the entrance of church passage. The man came from Aldgate. Very good, Watson. Thus we can categorically state that the murder had not yet occurred at 1:30. Let's put the murder of poor Eddowes on the timeline, Watson.
Between 1:35 and 1:42.
1:35 and 1:42 a.m. The murder would appear to have taken place between these times, that is to say, within 7 minutes.
Agreed, Holmes. But does this really prove that our killer had the time to perpetrate these 2 murders?
Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
Sherlock and Watson took 20 minutes to go from Dupfield's Yard to Martyr Square. Yeah, plenty of time.
There, Watson, we are now certain that the murderer really had the time to commit these 2 murders.
Incredible.
Let's look at our deduction.
Had to have women in the right place both times. Let's put them all together like this. Right. Moving my camera back. Whoop. The items are meant for a woman. The items belong to the victim. Thimble. Oh. That was not what I was expecting. The Eddowes murderer is a fetishist. Murder search. See Eddowes. That's better. The thimble is found right beside the victim's hand. She held a thimble in her hand. That's easy enough. See Eddowes' liver and lungs underwent small incisions. The kidney and the uterus were removed. The nose was cut. The cheeks were slashed. To become thinner. Ugh. He hates kidneys. He hates kidneys. He just hates them. You knew anatomy. Aha, miss. I've got more. Into the neck goes from the right and slightly oblique. Could it be that he wanted to decapitate her? They may be one and the same. Yes, I agree with that. Central incision goes down from the sternum towards the groin. Cut open this in a surgical matter. No, it's like that of an animal. He specifically said that. A piece of C. Eddowes' white apron was cut out. The items at the victim's feet are very orderly. The killer likes order. No, he's unfeeling and organized.
This spot is making me nauseous. Can we not head back, Holmes?
We certainly can't, Watson. We have one final point to address. Do you remember the piece of white apron that was missing just now? It was found just a few steps away from here, at the entrance of a building. That's where we must go.
I don't know why it gave me the map. It said a few streets away from here. Did I find out where it was left? Is it here?
Let's go.
It was.
There's the spot, Watson. By night, Goulston Street is deathly silent, which will permit us to carry out a fair few experiments. Let's find the entrance where the piece of the victim's apron and the mysterious
the message
were found.
Well, before we do that, I think instead we are going to do that next time. Sorry to leave it on such a cliffhanger, but I think I've had quite enough of disgustingly mutilated and brutalized victims for the day. Don't know about you guys. So I am going to wrap this up here. I will keep streaming for a little bit longer just to chat, but for the gameplay section, this is going to be the end of that. So if you're watching later, there's probably another episode coming up next, so enjoy. Let me know how it goes. I don't know yet. That's probably enough murder for today. Yes, I'm glad you agree. And if you are watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things, leave a comment, etc. I appreciate you watching my content. It's very nice of you. And that's gonna be me. Yeah, I never know how to wrap these up. I should probably make a little thing I do at the end, but for now, I'm just going to be awkward about it. So, bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.